Welcome to the land of long live play, where greatness is always waiting. Welcome to the PlayStation Experience. I am your host, Delvin Cox, and with me, as always, is the Platinum Princess herself, Miss Haley Nicole Miller. Somebody turn on your headphones because I can hear you in my headphones.
What?
At all.
Yeah. What? I can hear you fine. I was kind of scratching my head. That's all. I'm sorry.
I can hear myself in one of y'all headphones. I said turn on your headphones. Oh, whatever. I don't think I hear myself anymore.
My headphones don't have a volume thing. They're just a pair of skull candies.
Well, fuck it. Also with us is the Lord and Savior of PSVG, my boy Lord Snurts. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, thanks. Glad to be back at it with two rad people to talk about nerd stuff.
Yeah, we're here. Talk about video games, play some video games, and all that other stuff. I don't know how we do here, but we're just here. So,
we also talk about TV occasionally, as noted by, one of our questions this week.
Yeah, that is indeed a question this week. We are play some video games, PSXP, and watch some TV shows.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind talking a little bit about TV and movies, especially just the beginning, not to dive too deep into it like we do the gaming stuff, but it's fun to hear what people are watching and what their opinions are of it.
Snurts, you're in the minority.
Yeah. Oh.
And I don't mean you're black. I just mean you're in the minority.
No, I didn't. Yeah. No, I didn't think I have to give up like my card right away or anything like that. But yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, no, it's don't worry. They know it's an integral part of the show at this point. It's not going anywhere. So
yeah, that's a good point. It's not going anywhere because we don't care.
Yeah, well, not even just that. Like, as much as he rags on about it, he still listens to the show. So
yeah, it's his fault. He has no choice but to listen to the show. It's his network. That's how that works.
Hey, if everybody else can talk about random sports stuff or what have you on the PlayStation Video Game Network, I think we could talk a little TV.
So, speaking of, hi, Donnie.
Donnie.
All right. So, who do we go with first? Any, mini, mighty, mo. Catch a Haley by her toe. Haley, go first.
Hi. So, my week's been interesting. I just worked 12 shifts in 9 days. And now I get a day off, so that's nice. It's been something. January's busy for inventory, so I worked at Polo today. That was not fun.
I forgot that was still a thing.
Oh wow! Still have a little guy on the horse.
Yes, Ralph Lauren. Yep.
That's what that was on the horse.
Yeah, it's a polo, like the game.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be Ralph Lauren on the horse.
Yes, it's supposed to be Ralph Lauren on the horse. That's why it's called That's why it's called Ralph Lauren Polo.
But I didn't realize that was supposed to be him on the shirt. I guess whatever.
Hey, we're getting off at a banger.
I don't know. Their back room was a pain in the ass. It's all folded. It sucked.
Yeah.
We started at 9. We finished at 2, which is a lot better than my boss's previous estimation of finishing at 7 p.m. So
yeah, that'd have been bad.
Yeah. Other than that, this will shock nobody. I started rewatching Supernatural, and I'm all the way up to season 8, halfway through that right now. The Shadowheart store. I do not think Shadowheart would wear polo. Just pointing that out. Shadowheart is the hot topic girl. Just let's go there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Hot topic for sure.
Which is, funnily enough, the one store in town we don't inventory for clothes. We don't do Hot Topic. They do their own.
Y'all not cool enough to do Hot Topic. Y'all do polo.
I'm just happy to hear Hot Topic is still around.
Oh yeah, it's still around.
Shadowheart is a horse? Nah.
Nah.
I'm sure it's an actual horse. I just don't know. Yeah, probably, Daniel. Last night I finished watching LARP and the Real Girl, which is the Braveheart episode essentially. Dean recites a bunch of lines from Braveheart and then runs into battle with a fake sword. It's
I don't know
interesting.
what any of this is.
I'm so lost.
But beyond that,
I'm aware. Donnie.
still watching Reacher season 2. Very good
I
stuff.
heard that show stinks.
What?
I've heard from
Whoa.
several people that Reacher stinks, and I shouldn't watch it.
I have an active group chat, and they're all about the Reacher.
So
on that one.
so it is good.
I mean,
So
it's a
let me
bunch-
put it this way, Delvin. Reacher season 1 was so good. As soon as it came out on iTunes, I bought it instantly. I also bought the first book. It's on my nightstand.
Oh, they have books from the show.
No, the books existed first. It's
I know, but they sometimes make books based off the show, based off.
So there is a book with a cover
trying to
for the
think.
first season, and there's now a book with a cover for the second season. So here's the fun thing: season 1 follows book 1, right? You'd expect book 2 to be season 2. No, book 11 is season 2.
All right. I'm sad that I asked that question.
So is it like one continuous story? Like the book just keeps
No,
going regardless of the
you
show?
you can jump in wherever you like. They're usually self-contained stories.
All right.
But I've really enjoyed season 2. I find the ensemble cast kind of takes away a bit from Reacher's vibe in season 1, but it's very good. All right, I'll get into what I've been playing.
This is the perfect way to describe our show. What a beautiful mess of a show this is. That is
Yeah,
very accurate for this show in my life, Donnie.
it is.
Oh, no.
It is.
Yeah,
Your life is way worse than this show.
yeah, way worse. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. In what I've been playing news, I've played some Cyberpunk this week. I just did some side gigs and stuff while killing time. Played some Baldur's Gate 3, where I started solving the open hand temple murders.
Did y'all vote on the poll, by the way?
I did.
Yeah.
You know damn well what I voted for.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Well, you
think
guys
it's
are
fine.
losing.
Thanks. I kind of figured that when half of our Discord could not give a fuck about Baldur's Gate.
Yes, you guys are losing very bad. So they didn't even add Alan Wake to the vote, by the way, which is kind of fucked up, but whatever.
Hey, Delvin, I expected you to play Alan Wake for the podcast and then never touch it again, which is, from what I gather, since I haven't had a chance to listen to PSVG this week, exactly what happened.
No, that's not exactly what happened. I've been playing it. It's just I got to a part I didn't like. And they were like, you should probably stop playing this game. And I was like, okay, let's take it to a fan vote. You guys can vote for what game I play. Do I continue playing Alan Wake? Do I play Baldur's Gate 3? Or do I go to
Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia? And Dev, being the person he is, didn't even add Alan Wake into the equation.
Yeah, I knew that would happen because those two don't give a, like, Donnie understands, to Donnie's credit, Donnie understands what Alan Wake 2 is all about. It's just not Donnie's game.
Light switch the
And
game.
Dev could not give a fuck about Alan Wake. So,
Yes. Because my whole thing was I like the Saga sections. I think Saga is great. I just I was not feeling the Alan section I played at all.
Alan sections are, so like, again, I don't have many criticisms of Alan Wake 2 except Alan's plot board. But why would he? He doesn't have to. Dev is the type of gamer that he knows what he's about.
Dev was
Like,
a terrible person.
I'm not
That's all.
mad.
I actually agree with Dev a lot when I'm hearing him on the pod. I'm like, this guy knows what's up. What's going on?
Because
This guy-
you're also a terrible person, Snurts.
yeah,
and-
because we're all from LA. What's up?
And Dev is short. Dev's very short. He's like 2'1".
But like Dev knows what kind of games he's into. Alan Wake is not the game for Dev. I knew that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Not everybody has to like everything I like, or everything Delvin likes, or everything Snurts
Yes, they
likes.
do.
Right? Like,
You have to like everything I like.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, played some Baldur's Gate 3. I rented Remnant 2 from the library. I haven't even had a chance to play it yet, so that's interesting. The other thing I've been playing is Platinum number 53, which I didn't want to pop that early, but
Whoa.
Let me be abundantly clear. If you're going to release a version of your game that has skins, do not lock those skins behind me completing the game. Fuck off.
I don't know what game that is. You're talking about Last of Us Part 2?
I am. Last of Us Part 1 did the exact same thing. They came with skins for the characters. You couldn't use them until you beat the game once. Fuck off. Give me that shit. So they allow you to pop your save so you can use all that shit. So
I don't like where this conversation is going, Haley. You're like talking about popping skins and all this stuff. I'm very uncomfortable, Haley.
Yeah.
So I imported my save and it popped the platinum for me instantly. So that's platinum 53, which kind of took the wind out of it. I wanted to do it legitimately, but I also wanted to do it. Huh?
I was just gonna ask you that question. I said, doesn't that take the fun out of it for you not like you not on the trophies anymore? It's like, I'm done. Wow.
I mean, there were new trophies added to the game, and there is still a reason for me to replay the story for the permadeath trophy. Doubt I'll attempt the grounded one, but we'll see.
I want to ask you a question about this because
Mm-hmm.
I got to play very little bit of this. Did you play any of this, Nerds?
No. I haven't played The Last of Us.
Okay, so you're safe from this question then.
Yeah,
Did you
and you
try
guys
the
can
Lost
spoil it
Levels
if
yet?
you want.
No, we're not spoiling nothing. Did you play the Lost Levels yet?
I have not played the Lost Levels. I have played a bunch of No Return, though.
Okay, I've done the opposite. I've played none of No Return, and I played the Lost Levels. And I asked this because I think it's a fascinating thing to add into a game. And I wish more games did this.
So I'm going to be honest. How do I even get to the Lost Levels? Because it's not really advertised on the main menu. Is that in the making of, or?
I thought it was in the settings. I think it's in the settings. I think that's how I got to it. And you can add developer commentary on it, and then there's little sections you can go to that has like a little play button on it, and you click on the play button, and they will tell you like, hey, what the thought process was in the game. I think it's really cool.
Is it like director's commentary?
Yes, it is exactly that.
So
Okay.
yes, you can. That I do know. There is director's commentary for the Lost Levels, but also there's now director's commentary for like the entire story. So
That's correct too.
If you play the story, you can enable commentary over that. And this is neat because Part 1 didn't let you do this because obviously you couldn't import a save. But Part 2, if you import a save, will allow you to just turn the cinematics on and watch the developer commentary without playing through the game. So like you can watch the developer commentary for that scene.
That's cool.
Yeah,
if
it's
you
like
want
a little movie.
Yeah. So that's neat. No Return though, really fucking good. So I've done I think 5 runs total so far. I've only passed 1. I've
Who
died.
have you played as?
So far, I played as Ellie, Dina, and the run I have going right now is Abby. Because characters are locked until you complete certain challenges. So play like when you start No Return, you have Abby and Ellie unlocked. Playing as Ellie for I think it's 3 encounters. Unlocks Dina. When you do use Abby, playing as Abby for 2 encounters unlocks Lev. I don't know what Lev unlocks, like what he requires. When you play as Dina, playing as Dina for 3 encounters unlocks Jesse.
Okay, that's cool.
So on.
The rule of 3.
Let me ask you this then.
Mhm.
Do any of them play differently as you see?
They all play differently.
Oh, I'm digging this now.
Nice.
Then. Okay.
That's cool.
So for example, Ellie is like a balanced type of play style, so like you can do pretty much everything as Ellie. With the exception of she doesn't hit as hard, right? Like so Ellie hits
we saw.
Ellie doesn't hit like melee wise as hard as other characters. But Ellie makes up for that in having a completely balanced playstyle. Whereas Dina, from what I played, is entirely spec'd around crafting, like the trap mines, smoke bombs, Molotovs, all that stuff. And Abby is more of a close combat a get up close melee type of character. I don't know what Jesse plays as because I just unlocked him before we started recording.
I have a joke.
And
I'm not gonna make the joke I was gonna make.
Go ahead.
Nope, I'm not gonna make the joke. It's a spoiler joke, so I'm not gonna make the joke.
Oh, okay. So that's cool. Also alongside of, because like it's not just unlocking characters, right? Like unlock as you continue to play, you unlock more and more things, right? So you unlock more modes, more like multipliers. In like each area will sometimes have a modifier on it. Like one of the modifiers turns the entire map a different photo mode filter. Like so, it's very hard to see what's going on, and you're still being like hunted or attacked. One of the modes is just, hey, enemies will endlessly respawn until the timer resets. Survive. There's a mod that can be added to an encounter, like so you don't choose the mods, like they just get randomly added to encounters. One of the mods is, hey, Molotovs rain from the sky. Good luck.
Oh,
Nice. That's fun.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And then one of the mods is invisible enemies.
Oh, interesting.
That is a pain in the ass with infected. Let me tell you. I
was gonna ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Does your I forgot what it's called. When you press the button so you can hear things really good, does that help with that?
Listen mode works.
Yes, listen mode.
It is disabled with invisible enemies.
Ooh.
What?
Wow.
So let me point out, listen mode works even with invisible enemies on, but it will not detect the enemies for you because it defeats the purpose of the mod, right? It's meant to make the encounter harder if you could just use listen mode to find them. There are still ways to tell where the enemies are. They still have shadows and everything else, so like you just can't physically see the enemies in front of you, but the game kind of makes up for it in that like the invisible enemies still have shadows, at least from what I've seen.
Listen mode should have worked.
That is
like,
interesting to hear the variety and how it's so different than what I would, because I have very little experience with The Last of Us outside of the HBO show, and I don't remember invisibility and like raiding Molotov cocktails and all that other kind of fun stuff. So it seems the stream mode is a way to really add variety and to kind of like allow the developers to just have fun with it.
Yeah. So like at each run, like a run is complete after you've done five like encounters and one boss round. So in my first round as Ellie, I went through 5 encounters, and then the boss I fought was a bloater in a specific area of the game that I'm not going to say, because it's a spoiler, essentially. But in this specific area, you fight a bloater. That ends the run there, and then you go there. Now the neat thing is like I said, encounters. Encounters count per area. So like, for example, when you start a run, depending on who you play as, and this is the neat part, the starting room that you go back to after each encounter to upgrade and grab materials is different. For Abby aligned characters, it's the resort area at the beginning of the game, and for Ellie aligned characters, it's the theater.
Cool.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is that the difficulty can change depending, like, even when you pick your difficulty, right? Like, there's from very light to grounded, right? Those are the, like, very light, moderate, hard, survivor, and then grounded are the difficulties. No matter what you pick, encounters can get more or less hard depending on the modifiers and what you're asked to do, right? Like, so some of the modes are like, hey, you have an ally, they'll help you in this round, right?
Okay.
Or Others, it's like, hey, like I said, you're by yourself. You're being hunted. Enemies constantly respawn until the timer runs out. There's one I've seen that, but I haven't done because I just unlocked it, where it's like, hey, you and an ally have to survive in this tiny little area against a swarm of infected. If your partner dies, you lose. It's really interesting. Like, you unlock more and more modes as you go through it. And also specific skins for characters are tied to this mode. So like, Ellie has 3 skins that are tied to No Return. The rest can be unlocked through normal unlock procedure. And Abby also has 3 skins that are tied to this. And then there are skins for the other playable characters as well. They're less cool because like they're not really in the game as much, but it's definitely something I recommend playing. And like I said, I'm gonna play through the story again. But I started No Return because one of the skins is Ellie in plaid, and it was tied. It was locked behind playing in No Return. So,
question: Is
Yeah.
Joel in this mode?
he is. He is the last character you unlock on the Ellie track.
Motherfucker.
So you
That's right, Delvin.
So the unlock procedure for Ellie's aligned character is from Ellie you unlock Dina, from Dina you unlock Jesse, from Jesse you unlock Tommy, from Tommy you unlock Joel. And
God damn
then
it.
Abby's unlocked characters are from Abby you unlock Lev, from Lev you unlock Yara, from Yara you unlock Mel. From Mel you unlock Owen, I believe, and then I also believe you unlock Manny from Owen.
Well, you can probably tell what side I'm not going to. I'll probably unlock 2 on Abby's side and the rest on Ellie's side if I get into it. If I get that far, because
That sounds like a lot of content too. That even though you got your platinum participation trophy, you still have a whole new experience that seems like you're enjoying.
And there's trophies tied to this mode. So
There you go.
let me ask you a completely cynical question.
Yeah.
Don't take this the wrong way, even usually when people say don't take this the wrong way, they get mad.
Here we
take
go.
it the wrong way. But
Here we go.
I guess I can ask this for Snurks too. Do you think you can play a game now and enjoy it without trophies and points and whatever the Microsoft shit's called and stuff like that? Or do you think that not having that there kind of takes away from it a little bit? Like me, since I've been getting back into playing my Ally and my Steam Deck and stuff like that, I don't even think about trophies and any of that. Well, I barely thought about them on the PlayStation, but even more so, playing them on Steam, I can care less about trophies and all that stuff. I enjoy them giving us points to buy shit. Or like Steam, I know you get that when you buy certain things and do certain things, you get points to buy.
So you're talking about Steam points, and you get those for every purchase you make on Steam. But again, they're only usable for things like Steam Deck
skins and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is fine. To answer your question from my personal experience, yes. But also, I mean, like, I enjoy the dopamine hit of trophies, but look how many times I've replayed The Last of Us despite not being able to get any more trophies for it, right? Like,
that's a fair point.
I can definitely, like, if I've platinumed a game and I want to replay it, I'll just go replay it. Like, I only have 53 platinums because I only platinum a game that, like, I'm really enjoying and definitely feel like I can hit the list.
Yeah, I'm going to steal the analogy that Matthew gave me when we were on his lovely podcast, and that is trophies are kind of like cheese on a burger. Like, I don't really need it. It's nice if it's there, but I'm still going to eat that burger if there's cheese or not.
That's a good point. I asked that because I noticed with myself, at least, when I platinum a game, I just won't play it anymore.
Oh, really?
The very few games I've platinum, I think I platinum like 10 or 12 or something like that. Only one I think the exception to that was the Walking Dead games. But otherwise than that, any game I've really platinum, I don't really go back to it. Like Infamous Second Son. I have not played it since I platinumed it.
I played that game like 12 times.
And there are a few other games like that.
I've only platinumed Spider-Man 1 and 2, so I'm going to be playing those in the future. I know it. to me, trophies are like I rarely look at the trophy menu, and to me, it's a small little dose of humor. Like there's a very funny Baldur's Gate 3 trophy that you can get depending on what items you use for a rest. Uh, and so that was kind of funny. I was like, ah, ha, ha, ha. But if that trophy never popped up and I was just moving right along with the game, it wouldn't have changed my experience.
Hey, Donnie, as someone who cheese makes ill, it is not a necessity on a burger. Just
It's nice to
pointing that
have,
out.
but it's not necessary, especially for us lactose intolerant.
I'm not lactose intolerant. I ate so
I-
much cheese as a baby. I cannot eat it anymore.
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. I'm partially lactose intolerant where I can have that cheese on a burger, and that's like all the cheese I can have, or else things just go
Make
south.
sure you down those lactose pills.
Yeah,
beforehand.
if I'm going for a milkshake, I do that, but like I honestly don't.
I had a coworker who every day when I worked at Walmart, every day for lunch, he would down 6 lactate pills and then just eat mac and cheese.
I will say this.
Oh no.
My daughter is lactose intolerant, and she doesn't give a fuck at all. She will just take her Lactaid and eat her ice cream
Go to town, right?
and eat her pizza or whatever. She's like, fuck this.
Life's too short.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty funny. No, yeah, I can definitely play games without it. Like they're a fun bonus, and I really enjoy the dopamine hit when they pop. But like, I don't know. I can definitely play them without them. I don't think they're gonna go away. Obviously, Nintendo's not incorporated them, but like, I don't think they're going away. They're kind of an ingrained system now. But I can play games without them. Like I said, I replayed Second Son like 12 times. I replayed The Last of Us Part 1 at least once a year, right? Like,
yeah, but I noticed that about myself. I don't know if that's a point for everybody, but like I find myself going back and playing more Nintendo games because I don't think about the trophies and stuff like that. Like for example, I platinum Spider-Man 2, and I never thought about going back to it.
Really?
Not
Well, currently there's no reason for you to go back to it because there's no new game plus and not many crimes pop up after you beat the story. But
yeah, but it hasn't even crossed my mind. I loved it. Like, I platinum it, so like, okay, I'm done with it. It's a couple of those games I felt like I don't need to go back to this no more because I platinum it.
Do you check the trophy list before you start playing?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't. As y'all know, I will consistently talk about a streamer I play. I am not Ray. I do not check the difficulty of achievements before I play something. Like if I'm interested in something, I'm going to play it. So,
all right.
Yeah. All right. Who's going next for their week?
Lord Snurts, what's up, man? How's your week been?
It's been fine. Seeing how I'm no longer up north visiting mom, I am back to playing video games all the time. I also watched the Disney Plus series Echo, and I enjoyed that a lot. I did too. I thought it was a classic anti-hero with a great villain in Kingpin. And what I really appreciated about it is because the MCU has been so larger than life these days, that this was really small level, street level action and stakes. We're not saving the multiverse. We're not saving the galaxy. We're not stopping Thanos. Like we just have this conflict for this person.
But we are canonizing the Defenders universe to the Marvel timeline.
Let's go, baby.
Cool. Yeah, right on.
I like that part.
Yeah.
Bring back Luke Cage. Sweet Christmas, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I love all the games.
Is he even available right now? What with working for Paramount doing Evil?
It's not my problem. It doesn't matter.
Stop that show. It's not.
But yeah. So it was just kind of a nice change of pace for the MCU, which I'm a fan of, regardless. Like people, superhero fatigue, whatever. Like I'm a marathon superhero consumer. I will go on for hours and hours, miles and miles. Yeah, exactly, Haley. Exactly. So that was very nice. And as far as what am I playing? All right, so Baldur's Gate 3, I finished it because I was tired of circling the drain, and I was like, I just need to go and get this done. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck playing this game forever.
Okay, so as spoiler free as you can, which of the 4 endings did you get?
See, I didn't even know there were 4 endings. I do know that I was trying to be benevolent and not destroy everything.
So here's what I'm gonna say: did you control the brain, destroy it, give it to Ball, or become something else?
I think we destroyed it. I'm pretty sure we destroyed it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we nuked the brain. I should have wrote that down in my notes. I just said I finished it, and then I really liked the 6-month after party.
Yes.
That part was great because it was a nice little like bow on top of the whole adventure. Also, I do enjoy the occasional beer, and I didn't plan this, but it just kind of happened this way. I bought a 6-pack of a beer called Brain Melter, and I was drinking Brain Melter while finishing Baldur's Gate 3, and then I started thinking of Futurama with Philip J. Fry, who is an episode there where he takes on a bunch of brains because he's an idiot. And I'm very tempted to make a Philip J. Fry character for my next playthrough who's incredibly lucky, very stupid, and maybe a bard. So and my bug of the episode, and Baldur's Gate 3 has plenty of these. Kids at home, do not loot Orin's corpse until the fight is completely over. Because if you loot the corpse before the fight is over, a cutscene will fail to trigger, and a companion that you could recruit or save is no longer accessible. Here's
my fun favorite bug for you for Baldur's Gate 3. Later, Dev. That's actually a question we got later. Hey, see, it's funny you mentioned that because it's right there. That's literally the poster on my wall right there.
The 100?
Yes, it's a poster for the 100 right there. Literally, in the open hand temple murders, pretty sure quest items aren't supposed to have weight. Guess what? I'm looking for a dead clown's body. Yeah, hey man, when I pick up a piece of your body, you should not be 15 pounds.
Yes.
What a ridiculous statement that is. I'm looking for a dead clown's body.
Dribbles.
Hey,
you gotta find Dribbles the clown.
He's an interdimensional clown that gets torn apart and consumed by a shapeshifter, and you gotta find his body parts.
Yeah, I kept passing those off to other characters in my team.
I gave it to Astarion because he's my damage dealer. So
yeah. Oh god, I'm gonna butcher her name. Yahara, the female druid. Jahira. Yeah, she was my pack mule. I'm like, if you got to turn into owl bear form, go for it. But yeah, I ain't carrying.
See, my favorite thing is I haven't used her or Halson. Like, I just don't have a need for a druid companion.
Yeah, I had Twink Vampire, Lady Druid, and God, who was the other person that I had? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, the cleric, Shadowheart, of course.
Shadowheart, yeah.
For the healer. I was the sorcerer, so.
My current party is the Dark Urge, which is my character. Shadowheart.
Yep.
Which is my bae, who I got my romance scene with, and you go skinny dipping. It's delightful.
Oh yeah.
And then you and then Astarion, who I reclassed from a rogue into monk / rogue. So he's my damage dealer. And then Minthara.
Menthol, a cigarette?
Huh?
Go with menthols. Newport.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with names too, but like I'm pretty sure I'd probably come up with some kind of naming device like that as well.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Hey, at least it's not what the Baldur's Gate fandom has collectively named Shadowheart, including her voice actress. Guess what the fandom name for Shadowheart is?
Oh, it's not her. Okay, I don't want to guess because I get in trouble.
Go ahead.
Holy pussy? I don't know. Like, what do you want?
No, it's Shart.
Wow,
Shart. Like,
yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, that's
turn your
weird.
volume down a little bit, Helen. They said your volume is a little too high.
I haven't moved my mic in years. It's the same volume it's been. I can sit back, but like I haven't moved my mic volume in years.
Anyway, well, that's a terrible nickname. I'm sorry. We we could even mine was a terrible nickname too. John 30. Thank you for supporting me here, but no, that was awful. So anyway, anything else on Baldur's Gate 3? Because I got a few other games that I would like to bring up.
Be our guest. Be our guest.
Okay.
Bring your magic to the test.
So I got 4 other games that I've been playing: God of War Valhalla, just a teensy, Evil West, Battlefield 2024, and Moonwalker on the Sega Genesis.
Woo!
Sorry,
Now,
Battlefield 2024. Do you mean 2042?
2042. Yeah, you know
Fuck
what?
that game.
Autocorrect. So real quick about I have a Friday night movie game group, and we got really tired of playing Back 4 Blood, so we decided to do some Battlefield, and we're just on Discord, so we're not hearing everybody else, right? And so I have to say, like, it's kind of like a lot of fun to play with your friends, but they need to fix those vehicles because they suck. Flying planes, flying helicopters. The only way Snurts know to do that is they either go into the ground or they go into the sky, and they blow up both ways.
See, Snurts, this is what you need to do is you need to take that game, throw it in the garbage.
Well, it's a digital copy, so that'll be
digitally throw it in the garbage.
But I just wanted to say, like, I'm having fun playing with my friends, but like I'd rather talk about Moonwalker. The chat is absolutely right.
Yes.
Because much like Dev, like him and I have good taste in games, and I was looking for Mutant League Hockey, couldn't find it, started playing Moonwalker instead. This game is fucking nuts.
Yes, it is. I love it.
The level objectives are rescuing white girls from closets.
Yes.
That's the objective. You gotta go up and down this club that's full of like showgirls and pinball machines and dudes in blue like fedoras, and you basically gotta save the white women.
Yeah.
Which
I had a time where I was saving white women.
I was blown.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
No, they were blowing me away.
You're doing great, buddy. You're doing great. Saving all the white women out there, one gal at a time.
Yeah.
But so that was it. I only played a few levels, so I didn't really get far into it. I have a feeling that I'd have to like bust out the Game Genie if I was going to get deeper in. But for the pod, I thought it was worth mentioning that this shit's crazy. There ain't no way in hell like someone would make a game today that stars one of the biggest pop icons in the world, and the whole idea of the mission is him to like dance around pinball machines and open.
Well, it's based off a movie.
I know it's based off of the Smooth Criminal, right? Like
yes,
the whole thing where he turns into a robot and all that other crazy shit.
Exactly.
But like, it's just, I mean, you could have done the Princess Peach thing where at the end of the level, after collecting enough, I don't know, fedoras, you go to Little Annie or whatever the hell her name is, and be like, here's all the fedoras, let's move to the next one. So anyway, it was just kind of a blast for the past and definitely felt dated, and I thought it would be fun to bring up here. The pod.
I've talked about this before, but I have like a giant arcade stick that has a whole bunch of games on it.
Yes. Yep.
And the arcade version of Moonwalker is one of the games.
Okay, cool.
And I turned it on and played that sucker till I beat it. And I had so much fun playing it the whole day.
That's nice that you were able to actually get through the whole thing too. That's great.
Yeah, I spent a whole.
How old is this thing?
Michael Jackson Moonwalker?
30 years,
yeah,
maybe.
30 years old.
Yeah, early 90s.
Pretty fun game. Really fun.
Yeah, it's really cool when you kick and then you do a moonwalk and like people get messed up. And one of the other things that spurred me is those videos on Twitter where they're having the Michael Jackson character from Moonwalker go through a Mario level.
Oh yeah.
It's stupid internet goodness right there. But yeah, and it's just fun. And I remember having fun playing this as a kid. And back in the day, like what was the quarter crunching method and stuff like that, you have lives and whatnot. So definitely showing its age in that regard. But yeah, kind of fun to go back. And then finally, good old Evil West, which Haley already described in great detail. I very much a God of War style of combat. And this person has like so many weapons. Like his back must be hurting because he's just so tired from all the weapons that he's carrying. And I always forget there's a flamethrower, and then like someone's like, blah, blah, and I'm like torturing them, and it's so good. It's definitely taken me a little bit used to getting the controls because I was playing God of War Valhalla and then switching to this. It's such a similar kind of gameplay style. And I like the story well enough. But the thing that made me laugh my ass off was the old-timey photos where it shows a historically accurate Abraham Lincoln in a black and white photo next to some goofball graphics, like in the design of the video game characters.
Graphic design is my passion. Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
it is like the craziest looking thing. Like you got like legit old ass Lincoln photo, and then some guy just being like, "Look at me," from the video game, and it like ties into the story and stuff like that.
Sounds about right to me.
I
it
love
just
when
made me
video
laugh.
games do that.
Yeah, I know, it was great. Like this game isn't taking itself too seriously. It's a bunch of dude bros. I mean, the whole dynamic is like nerd does nerd stuff, manly man does manly stuff. So that was fun. But yeah, enjoying it. I don't know if I'm gonna beat it or not without turning it on easy. Haley, you're absolutely right. Like it gets ridiculous.
What
towards the
difficulty
end.
did you start on?
Just normal, like whatever the default.
I had
setting.
to put it down to like the lowest difficulty.
I might be
because
doing
it
that.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hitting the last level here, and I was hoping to beat it, but then I walk into this one building, and there's 3 of the big guys with the shields and just an army of lower ones, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm good for today. I think I'm just gonna get ready for this podcast, and I'm just gonna call it quits there. But fun game overall. I don't know if I would pay like $30-$40, but it's free. It seems to me very much like a $20 game, but with inflation, maybe that's $30 these days. Yeah. But overall, an enjoyable experience, and I'm glad I'm going through it. And it's a very nice chaser to Baldur's Gate 3 because it's a linear storyline. It's very simple. Go here, punch this, open chest, next level. And that part I kind of like because I like Baldur's Gate 3 a lot, but it's a very mentally exhausting game because there's just so many variables. Where this one, it's just like, oh, which attack haven't I used in the last like 30 seconds?
Yeah. Also, Donnie, your comment about there being a lack of Prince of Persia, I don't think Delvin's played it. I haven't played it because I had to make a choice, and I chose content for the podcast.
I like the demo. The demo was fun. I didn't complete it. I played it for about 30 minutes. I got the gist of it. It's a very beautiful game. I don't do the Metroidvania very often, nor have I ever beat one. I think I played Hollow's Knights for like a whole 2 hours before I got tired of it. But the mapping system seemed intriguing, and it is gorgeous. And I am a fan of the old one that was on the original Xbox, like back in the day. So I may pick that up, but it's also something where I may wait for a sale. Just because I'm trying to get through my backlog. Like I still want to play Cyberpunk's new content. I'm very tempted to dive back into Baldur's Gate 3, but I'll try to play something else so we have to have something to talk about on the pod.
No. Okay, hold on. I keep seeing you mention I can play something else for the pod. Sir, Snurts, play what you enjoy, my friend.
Yeah, but I am enjoying this.
Assignment podcast. We are not IGN.
Correct, but
we don't care.
I still... I don't want to be the guy who's just like, I know it's been 6 months.
Well, I hate to break it to you,
but this is what I'm doing for Baldur's Gate 3 today.
I know it's been 6 months.
No, I don't feel the need to talk about new content. But I,
No, I know, but like, don't stress yourself out, man. Like, don't stress yourself out going, I can play something. I know you're not, but like, don't go here and go, I can play something else for the podcast. Play what you enjoy.
Okay. All right. Well, I did enjoy God of War Valhalla, and I am going to dive back into that. I really like how
I got
it ties
all the
to the old
achievements
Greek.
for that. It was very good.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And I like the story that they have implemented, and I like that it references the Greek series.
This is funny.
Donnie,
pay me, and then I'll do that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Donnie, where them checks at?
Donnie said, "Play what I want you to play."
Yeah,
and that made me laugh.
I didn't get the memo. What are we supposed to be playing this week?
Prince of Persia.
Yeah, Prince of Persia.
I mean, it's what. Yeah. Also, for anyone wondering what I mean by I had to choose between that or content. Hi, I bought Suicide Squad for this podcast.
Oh, okay.
Oh, speaking of doing things for the pod. Oh, what is this? Pot calling the kettle black. My lord. Dude,
Whoa!
play what you want. Play what you
What do you
want.
mean by that?
Yeah, it's an old timey phrase. Don't try to make more of it, Delvin.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, I can't say the word.
You didn't get paid. I have to take that up with accounting.
Yeah, we also got a question too about top three favorite Michael Jackson songs. I'm very simple. I'm pretty sure it's "Beat It," "Billie Jean," and "Thriller." But I also like "Man in the Mirror."
That's about the 3 Michael Jackson songs I can name because I don't listen to Michael Jackson.
I also like "Man in the Mirror" and the one where "Do You Remember the Time?"
Michael Jackson's my favorite artist.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites too. But I don't think I'm as big as fan as Delvin is. But I've listened to him since I was a child.
I want a Michael Jackson statue in my house. I've been looking for one, a good one.
I can literally name the 3.
Yeah, but I enjoy Michael Jackson. I mean, I was getting a haircut today at the barbershop, and Billie Jean came on. They told me to stop moving my head, so you know.
Yarden, Yarden, keep your fantasies to yourself.
Dirty Diana is great too.
That is a good song.
Yeah. Librarian Girl. That doesn't sound like a Michael Jackson song. It sounds like
Liberian.
Oh, Liberian. Okay. All right. I thought that was something you found on Pornhub.
Jesus.
Another part of me is definitely one. I'm gonna say PYT. I like a lot. There's so many Michael Jackson songs I love.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go with "Beat It."
Beat It's pretty good. Great guitar stuff.
Okay, I've heard that one too.
Yeah.
Beat It. The guitar solo alone makes "Beat It" just such an amazing song.
It's pretty nice.
And the fact that that's Eddie Van Halen, and he didn't even want credit for it because he thought the song sucked. Did you ever hear that story?
Yes, I did.
No.
What a weird. I mean, there's some weird stuff like that in the world, right? Where you're just kind of like, no, like everybody else is like, this is great, and he's like, whatever, I'll do it for you, Michael, as a favor.
One of the most popular songs in history.
Yeah.
One of the biggest music artists at the time had the guitar solo in it. Didn't want credit for it. Didn't want to get paid for it. Didn't even want to get recognized for it because he thought it stunk.
I mean,
and then he was like, I don't want to be recognized, but I want to be credited for it. I'll do it for you because you're Michael Jackson. And then everybody's like, this is amazing. Like, oh shit, I was wrong.
Whatever. Sometimes you're in the middle of something and you don't think it's going to be that great, and then the world proves you wrong.
Yeah. Beat It's a great song.
Yeah, didn't Michael also like break the color barrier for MTV? Like wasn't he the first black artist to be shown on MTV? So
that is correct. That is
legendary. Michael, there's always time for Michael Jackson. Okay, folks.
My favorite artist, Michael Jackson's the greatest.
Nice. Well, Delvin,
what anybody know what my favorite artist is?
I know.
I have no clue. Who?
Based off her namesake. Let's see if you know the group.
I'm not good with music. I'm so in my own little bubble of yesteryear and like a few drum and bass tracks and electronic dance music stuff like in my later college years. But like,
y'all didn't got it right. Paramore.
Paramore. Huh?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Never heard of them. So
there was a song I heard from Paramore. I can't remember the name of it. I Shazammed them. Like, this song is fucking awesome.
Cool.
So they got some dope songs.
Yeah. And also, my favorite thing right now is that the band is currently they've just separated from their record label because their 20-year deal is over. So a bunch of performances that were scheduled under their old record label have been canceled, and it's leading a bunch of people to go, are they breaking up? And I'm like, you really think Hayley Williams is going to let that band break up? No, they just can't perform under their current record deal.
She seems like a cool person.
Yeah.
All right.
She also has her own hair dye company. And she donates a bunch of money each year to I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a charity that helps LGBT youth in Nashville. So
Cool. Yeah. I continue to get educated every day.
Ain't It Fun? It's the name of the song I heard. I just heard it like randomly in the store.
great song.
And I'm like, this song is kind of fucking awesome. I'm like, who is this? They're like, oh, Paramore. I get it now.
I'll give them a try.
Ain't It Fun is from their self-titled album.
That's a great damn song. I've listened to it like 5 times in a row. One time and used it to work out with. Like, this is a good song. I really dig it. I haven't done nothing this week. I've been doing podcasts.
I will give Snurts a few songs to check out after the podcast.
That's a good idea.
Because we're gonna do TV, we're gonna do music, we're gonna do. I read a book recently.
Yeah, Snurts is going to just read the whole Game of Thrones book series to us.
I have actually 1 through 4, and I think I have half of 5. So if we want to get started, kids.
Riot is a good album. Yes, it's a very good album.
I haven't played nothing this week. I was doing podcasts, and when I wasn't doing podcasts, I was painting a room, a bathroom.
Oh,
okay.
Were you also corralling your child?
No, I wasn't doing much of that this week.
See, the reason I ask is because he's messaged me 3 times this week, which leads me to be concerned that he's done something wrong again.
Oh no! It's just been a very hectic week.
Also, you should know your son messaged me to go, "Hey Haley, why does Ubisoft keep trying to make these action shooters a thing? Don't they have Siege?" And I was like,
that sounds like some shit my son.
I was like, why are you coming to me with this?
That's my son. Random shit he just come to you.
I mean, I answered the question for him, but like, I'm not an economist. Why does Ubisoft do anything?
You don't have the inside line at Ubisoft there, and you just get him on the horn, right? Hey, Dev Jr.
I'm gonna give my son.
Oh boy!
Oop, did we lose him?
Delvin.
I'm gonna give my son Snurts' number.
Oh no!
Oh, that's weird. I disappeared and came back.
Yeah, and then I heard my number is just going to be sent out. It's a good thing.
I can see you.
Yeah, okay. I can see you. Yeah, you're good now. Everything's fine.
Oh yeah, that was weird. But yeah, I'm just gonna give my son your number.
Oh
So
boy,
you can just
cool.
Does Delvin Jr. even have my cell phone number? All he does is message me.
I don't even know if Delvin has my cell phone number, so that'll be good. I will only reply with Boondock gifts.
Will he even?
Oh,
know
my
what that
son
is?
knows the Boondocks.
I know. That's
Yes, he
I know.
does.
I've heard
Watch the
question.
first season again.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I've only heard a few of the episodes, like where you all talk about the shows on your Patreon feed, and that's always fun.
Yes, that's one of the things me and him do together. Talk about TV shows and movies that we like, and how his taste is very terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, let me point out to quote Daniel earlier. To quote Daniel earlier, I watch Supernatural as much as Daniel watches Seinfeld. I think Delvin Jr. watches Moon Knight more than Daniel watches Seinfeld.
Probably so.
Pretty Reckless is very good, Donnie.
So, Donnie says, like the Pretty Reckless, Cranberries, Kitty, Metric, Hailstorm, Home for My Girl Rock Needs. There you go. So there's some artists you can check out. If you don't like it, blame Donnie.
I also recommend, I don't know if they're going to be up Donnie's alley, but they may be up yours. I will recommend Against the Current as well.
Okay.
I'm such a 90s, early 2000s person. I was like, I still listen to like System of a Down and Korn and Eminem. I have like this. I have the same like Spotify playlist of I don't know 60 songs or whatever that I just keep playing on rotate, and it's everything from rock, rap to classical and everything in between. So I also really enjoy orchestral music. Like when I'm working, I'll just have like various themes. Like let me put it this way: when I made my first playlist of classical stuff, I had to like pick somebody besides John Williams. So then I added some Mozart and some Beethoven and stuff like that. So, but I'm just so stuck in my little bubble of music that I like And even when I was going to drum and bass parties back in the day and seeing like the great Andy C and other people like that, I was still kind of like there more for the party than the music.
Yeah, my playlist still contains like Simple Plan and All Time Low and Fall Out Boy and My Chemical Romance and all of that. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure I got some like Offspring and Green Day sprinkled in there as well. Some Tool, if they were on Spotify, would be in there, but they're not. But yeah, System of a Down is one of those things where like almost any album, any song, I could sing part of it if it's playing. I can't do it on the spot, but
we wouldn't ask you to.
No, that's not good. And I saw Stool. I saw Stool. Yeah, Tool live at Staples Center, and you could tell they did not like LA at all. He's like, "Fuck you, people! Like, why am I here?" It was, and then they played the whole song about like LA being flooded or whatever, and an Armageddon.
Unfortunately, the only like famous band I've seen live is actually I've seen two of them. I've seen Kings of Leon because they're native to my town, and Marianas Trench. They played at like the local scene music festival here a couple years back. But Kings of Leon like had their first ever performance here at that same festival. So
cool.
I told my going to see a group story on PSVG. We don't need to relive that story again.
Well, I've also seen Dropkick Murphy and Kanye West at the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 launch party, and that was a lot of fun.
So that was good Kanye West. That was
hold on, original Modern Warfare 3 or the latest Modern Warfare 3?
The old one, the old one.
Yes,
that came. Yeah, the good one.
Good Kanye West, not.
Yeah. Actually, he went on like a pedestal upwards, and it kind of shook when it got at the top, and you could see him like holding himself on while like still like belting out the song. I was like, that's kind of fun. Yeah. No, this was way before he went off the deep end.
Way before he became a piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. You could say that.
Speaking of that, did you see the shirt he was wearing this week?
Nope, I don't follow anything.
I don't
Kanye
follow.
West does.
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't follow Kanye either. It came up on my newsfeed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it happens.
Let's just point out the shirt he was wearing. Man, that dog whistle is no longer a whistle; it's a foghorn.
Leghorn.
I say, boy.
All right, sure, foghorn, leghorn. Yep, let's go there. Yeah.
That's what I want to go because it's nice and wholesome.
Is it?
Well, I'm sure it has its moments, but like,
he's older me now. Think of Foghorn Leghorn, like, this is a very interesting character.
He's kind of like the Rodney Dangerfield of the Looney Tunes, where he makes fun of everybody. He's like, this boy is he's kind of dumb. He's kind of slow.
Kind of sounds like a lot of white guys from the South that I know.
Hey, you know what my favorite part is that the internet took issue with Pepe Le Pew, but not Foghorn Leghorn.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of things the internet takes issue with. None of them.
Yeah. There's all sorts of questionable, like, obviously times change and everything like that.
Yeah.
But, I'm glad we moved on from some of these stereotypes and colloquialism.
All right, let's get down to some of this news. We got a couple of news stories. One of the ones that I actually heard a lot about this week. People are very mad about Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth because apparently their new game plus is going to be paywalled.
That's so weird.
Such a weird thing.
My favorite part is that the description, like the reason this became an item is because the description for the game does not mention that New Game Plus is locked behind one of the items in the deluxe edition.
Yeah, it's weird because they have different versions and they have the standard edition, which has nothing in it. It's just a $70 game. It's like, here you go. You have the game.
Here's a start screen.
Yeah. And then they have like I think it's $85 deluxe edition, which comes with a bonus dungeon, get a special summon, resort quest, outfit, new game plus, and more.
Yeah.
So, and that's where the hubbub comes from because they have this little chart kind of telling you things. And the first chart does not have New Game Plus in it, but the second chart very much does. And the other
There's three. It's the standard, like standard, deluxe, gold edition, or whatever chart. Deluxe and gold have New Game Plus listed. The base game does not, and that is throwing the internet into a kerfuffle. And I think it was pointed out by Rude Days themselves in Discord that if this succeeds, watch other companies try and follow suit. Like
everybody's gonna do it.
Sure, if they can find a way
They were just waiting for it.
to squeeze more pennies, I don't like it. I thought it was weird when New Game Plus doesn't come standard with launch, but then I was happy to see coming in free, later, there's just maybe I'm just feeling like an old man right now, but I'm like, what are you doing to my goddamn gaming industry? What's going on here? I used to get this for free.
It does feel like they're nickel and diming everything now.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, let's be real. The whole promotion around Infinite Wealth has been very weird. Like, did y'all see that they hired? I'm not talking streamer controversy, but I do think it's very funny. They hired XQC, which is a Twitch streamer who's had a bunch of controversies, but that's not even the part that I'm talking about. They hired this man to promote their game. Didn't tell the man it was a turn-based game.
I don't know who this dude is.
So live on air, as he's in the middle of a battle, inviting his opponent to attack him, and his opponent's doing fuck all because it's, of course, turn-based. He's like, well, come on, bro, attack me. Come on, bro, attack me. And just standing there waiting for the enemy to do anything, but they already used their turn. And then he goes, oh, okay then. Live on air. Why are you wasting promotional dollars that way?
So he's a fucking idiot.
I was going to say he's never heard of turn-based combat in a game before. No one who gave him this access was like, hey,
do y'all know who Darkside Phil is?
No.
Just asking.
I'm not a nerd.
Well,
nope.
No. So y'all know how people have been complaining about companions that literally like just spoil puzzles for you instantly?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's because of Darkside Phil. That's because of Darkside Phil. Just pointing that out because
this one person changed everything. Like
essentially, because you can literally like sometimes they'll release like audio from development and they cite this man as being too dumb to figure out the puzzles.
Well, he's too dumb to figure out what a turn-based game is too, so I kind of get it.
Correct,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's very interesting that you would hire someone to promote your game, but then like not inform them if they're not aware. Because from what it seems, I don't think XQC had ever played Yakuza, so they probably weren't familiar with the fact that the most recent games are now turn-based. And literally live on air, just going, oh, okay then. As it's revealed it's a turn-based game. I'm like, what are we doing?
But how do you...
there's not prompts in the game. There's not a
that's what I was going to say.
There's not.
Oh, no. There are prompts. These pop up, but he's still waiting for his enemy to attack him.
So
he can't read. He can't read.
A fucking moron.
Yeah.
Which, again, why are you wasting your dollars on someone who knows nothing about the franchise as opposed to, like, any other popular person who is a fan of Like a Dragon? Like, I can name several creators I know who, as soon as that game comes out, that's all they're going to stream.
Including PSXP host Delvin Cox, who
There
likes
you go.
Like a Dragon series.
Correct. Or, for example, Ray Narvaez Jr., who I talk about all the time. Big Yakuza fan.
Yeah.
That's just like stupid corporate meets stupid Twitch equals stupid sandwich. I don't know. It's all pretty stupid.
Pretty stupid.
It is. I don't know, man. Like, don't be locking New Game Plus behind a $15 paywall, man. Like, what are we fucking doing?
I hope this backfires. I really do. I hope everybody buys the base game and then they're like, I have no idea what New Game Plus would be like, and nor do I care.
Unfortunately, it's RGG Studio, and I know it's going to succeed.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they don't sell the versions with New Game Plus as much as they sell the base version. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck him. I hate that he did that, but what can you do?
Yeah. Hopefully this will be an anomaly.
All right. Our next story is a fan made a portable PS5.
Portable and air quotes, because
Yeah,
it's not what
portable.
you're thinking, kids.
Yes, it's not like an ally. So it's YouTuber Matthew Perks and his do-it-yourself channel showed how to take your regular PS5 and slim it down by an incredible degree while keeping it just as cool as your console with this massive heat fan seat, whatever. But you're gonna avoid the warranty. Essentially, he made it like the size of like a tablet almost, like
Yeah.
a big tablet, but a tablet.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
something you can still fit into a backpack.
Yes. Like it's an LCD panel, essentially. 14-inch
Yes.
LCD panel. Looks pretty cool. It does make me wonder, like, if you can get a PS5 this small, why not make it almost this small in the first place?
I'm assuming because
Form factor.
the technique maybe that he's using is not as cost effective as what they have for their space.
Also, mentioning that you'll void your warranty is pretty funny, considering beyond putting in the SSD, stripping your PS5 any further down than that automatically voids your warranty. Like pulling the
Yeah.
fan out, your warranty. Like what do you?
Just to
Yeah,
let
it's
you
probably
know,
just a cover their ass type of
that's his way
scenario.
of saying, I'm not responsible if you break your PS5 for trying
Yeah.
some dumb shit I'm trying.
Also,
Pretty
it's
cool.
probably not a very cheap either because he puts an OLED screen on there, right? If I'm not mistaken. And but I like the idea of it. It's kind of cool. Like you go over to a friend's house who probably doesn't have a game console, I'm assuming, and just
Or
kind of pull
TV.
this out and then or TV. Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe this isn't as cool as I thought, but I guess I think it's neat. And much like our episode last time where the dude made a PlayStation work and a Super Nintendo, I do kind of find these little engineering feats neat.
That's cool.
I feel like if they were going to try to sell this, like with all the stuff that went into it, it would probably be very much more expensive than
Probably like $1,500 probably.
yeah, because you know the way the heat is not done with fans and all the coils, like it looked like a lot of work and a lot of money, especially with the high level screen that they put on there. But
Yeah.
fun stuff.
So, speaking of technology and fun stuff, Snurts,
Oh yeah.
did you know Sony's new smart car can display Fortnite's ads?
So, all right. So, as someone who works in advertising, like this just tickles me pink, and it does tie into like when I am done buying that Mercedes Class A for 60 grand, I think I'll have this car that I can drive from my Mercedes Benz with the PlayStation 5 controller, and then I could just drive it around town being a mobile billboard ad person. It is so weird that you would have ads running on your heads-up display or your bumper, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's correct.
And so my only question is like, do I get this car for free because I'm advertising on behalf of people, or is this just like free advertisement wherever I go and I have no control over the ads and stuff like that, which sounds like it could be a nightmare.
It could be a nightmare. Here's my favorite part. Why do you want to control your car with a controller that experiences drift often enough that it's become like a big news headline?
Your car
Well-
just like starts going left.
So, for those who are confused what we're talking about, during CES, we talked about it before. They
Yep.
pulled up with a new electrical car that can be driven with the PS5 DualSense controller. The vehicle named Afila. I felt like saying it. It sounds like a black chick.
It is all it is an all in caps too. I feel you too, man. It's great.
Afila. And created in partnership with car manufacturer Honda, so you know it sucks. Has a bunch of features that should make driving safe.
At least the Mercedes has that German engineering behind it, right?
Yeah. It also has a bunch of unnecessary features, like one that you see a video showing a handful of Fortnite ads. Who the fuck wants that on their dashboard? On their dashboard and front bumper. But yeah, this is the new car that they're coming out with. It's a Honda. The Afila that you can drive with a PS5 controller. God knows why would you want to do that. Car looks very cool and innovative, but I'm not driving my car with no PS5 controller. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, what are you gonna say, officer? It's not me. It's the PS5 controller.
Controller has drift.
Yeah, my battery died.
I need some compressed air. Do you have any compressed air in your car, officer?
Yeah,
Sir, can you please step out of the vehicle and put your mouth here?
What a stupid idea for a car.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all.
I can't wait till some idiot's driving this and somebody sinks their controller to it and just crashes their car into a wall.
Or the kid turns on the controller on the car on accident and then like out the garage door, like just through the garage door, backs out. Like
they're trying to play Fortnite and they're driving their car for real.
Yeah. It's just such a weird, and that's why I picked it for the news as well, because it's just, I read the article a few times and I was like, how does this exist? How is this a thing? Like, how many meetings upon meetings do people have? They're like, this is a good idea. This is a thing we should do. And it's just so strange. Much stranger than the Mercedes-Benz of the last episode.
Like, I don't know why you want advertising in your car anyways. Like, isn't the road supposed to be distraction free?
Correct. Also, if you're not getting paid to advertise, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree. So
no, sorry, I was going to say, are we blending this?
we got one.
Okay.
Dalvin.
I think you can. All right, I'm pulling it up. You both have played Baldur's Gate 3. So
we're going with this one. Okay, cool.
I don't know what this is, but only 0.1% of players have beaten Baldur's Gate 3 honor mode. What's the honor mode?
Okay.
Explain this story to me.
So, honor mode is are you familiar with games that used to have Iron Man modes?
I know of the term Iron Man because I've heard it before in Stellaris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Delvin, your camera keeps futzing. Are you actually here or?
Well, one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up is because it's my sister's Tessa's birthday today, and she was talking about honor mode. And so happy birthday, Tessa. And she said it's insane. It's insanely hard, but it's super fun because it's kind of like you're blitzing on like the hardest difficulty level with one save file. And all of a sudden you have like permanent death as well. So it's very difficult to go through this, but it is like apparently super fun because you can just, I don't know, you have like one goal in mind, which is like surviving. And I don't think this is for me. But some people who are up to the challenge and want to be a part of the elite 0.1% can give honor mode a try.
Yeah. So I think we've actually lost Delvin.
I think so too.
That is unfortunate.
The rest. Wait, rebooting. Rebooting.
No, we're back. Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. That's weird.
Okay, so we will. Everybody else has kind of heard what that was. But so Delvin, honor mode is essentially you have one save file. That's it. So for anyone who's not played Baldur's Gate 3, you're able to make multiple saves per character and move them. Honor mode removes that. There's no save scamming, and all your decisions are final. And if you die, like if you die and one character's alive, sure, you can revive your party and go from there. If your entire party wipes, your file is over. You have to start over.
But that.
Yeah.
Or you can continue on what then becomes a custom mode playthrough. But yes, honor mode is beat the game with one save file, all decisions final.
And the AI is smarter and has more abilities than.
Yes, they have legendary actions, including, by the way, Snurts, did you do the House of Hope?
Yes.
Okay, so you know that battle?
Yes.
Okay, give me a sec because I'm going to read off the legendary action for Raphael. I have it saved because it's very funny.
Yeah.
So on honor mode, Delvin, characters have what are called legendary actions. And these are stronger attacks that are usually done the moment you attack an ability. Raphael's legendary action, which is a boss in Act 3.
Legendary Ninja Turtle.
Raphael can spend a legendary action to immediately beguile a hostile creature and its allies after being attacked. Raphael may use this legendary action as many times per round as there are soul pillars standing at the start of the round. And legendary actions restore at the start of each round. So for reference, in Raphael's boss battle, there are 4 soul pillars, 1 in each corner of the room. As long as those are active, he can do that many legendary actions. And a beguile is essentially a hellish rebuke, which sets your character on fire.
So can he eat pizza while he's also doing this?
Yes.
Well, he's a devil, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
He does wear red. I wouldn't say we could call him a devil, but he is because he is green too. And he has size.
But yes, no.
He has some anger issues. He looks good in a trench coat.
Yeah, that's true.
Honor mode is an interesting challenge. By the way, Delvin, do you know what your reward is for finishing honor mode? Because you're gonna tell me that's not fucking worth it, and I'm gonna laugh.
I'm not doing this shit no way. So fuck
I mean, I know you weren't gonna do it, but like, what do you think the reward is?
The journey that you take to do it.
What? No. So you obviously get an achievement for it, but there's an actual in-game reward you get. Snurts, do you know what the reward is?
I did miss that part. I don't know what the reward is.
You get a set of... You can change your dice to be gold.
They can get a set of suck my dick. I'm not doing that shit.
Oh my god. Whatever.
Absolutely.
Cosmetic.
You get a cosmetic set of dice that is gold.
Yeah. This is for the small percentage of the very, very hardcore segment of Baldur's Gate 3. And the only reason I brought it up is because I was talking about it with my sister today and she seemed to enjoy it, which is shocking. Because I think that's the only person I'm gonna find who enjoys it, unless Haley is like ready to, smash.
I mean, I'll do it. I'll do it at some point. But
okay.
Why? There's a stream. Why? Because of the challenge. I don't care about the achievement. I want to try it. Right? Like,
I mean, I guess I could go in like no holds barred. Just, I don't know.
My favorite thing is that there's a streamer I follow who's also a voice actor. His name's Michael Bryan. But like his current thing is he's been doing, because he's been playing Baldur's Gate like on and off on stream for like months at this point. But every time he plays a new run, he imposes some sort of challenge on himself. Like the most, give me a sec. I have it actually here, because I'm in his Discord, and it's in his stream thing. But like he's been doing what's called permadeath, and like if all of his characters wipe, that's it. With honor mode coming out, he can actually do that without having to just exit the game and delete his save. So the game will just end it for him. He is now on permadeath attempt 6, and he said his next challenge after he beats this playthrough or succeeds in this one will be a solo permadeath challenge. Like he will not recruit any companions.
I have fun with this game, but there's so much more to experience without just being destroyed. But you know, hey, to each their own. If they enjoy the challenge, if that's what they,
he has a blast. He also, did you find the closet companion that you can recruit?
The closet companion?
No, Quasit, the little thing with the tail and the horns. Yeah,
that's just
the fear guy, or whatever. The little demon.
Shovel.
I think it's Shovel or Fork
or Shovel, Fork, or Basket is what their name could be, because you renamed. Anyways. So it's a little tiny little demon-like thing that follows you around, and it's got some very funny dialogue.
It has some very good dialogue. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
He's a very funny companion. He's very got a tiny amount of health, but he's very funny to listen to.
Reminds me of HK-47 from Star Wars: The Old Republic, as far as just a very violent, boisterous character that's kind of fun.
Yes.
But yeah.
The streamer actually has very funny dialogue for Shovel, because obviously they're a voice actor, right? So they'll do like Master and, and all this stuff while controlling Shovel, and it's very funny. Shovel is an interesting character. Delvin, since I know you're not going to get to play for a while, you can find them in a cave in Act 1. So
okay.
and then do like I did and forget about them, and then all of a sudden you go to that radio wheel and you're like, oh, what's this?
God,
Alright.
I wish. So I think you can bypass the radio wheels by connecting a keyboard to your PlayStation.
I'm good. I'm not
But
going to do any of that.
The radio wheels suck, man.
They do. They absolutely do. But I'd rather play with a controller on my couch. That's how I prefer to game.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our main topic. We have a very interesting one, very different one to talk about. So the chat for this whole week has kind of been the Xbox showcase that was actually really good. So now, Snurks, we can talk about the thing that you had in the quick stories, because I think
Okay. Yeah.
it's a very popular topic this week when it comes to exclusivity, because people see Indiana Jones and it actually looks really good, so people are having a little bit of FOMO about it. And a lot of these games the Xbox showed at their showcase are exclusives, and PlayStation fans specifically, have a little bit of FOMO about it. So let's talk about the one you want to talk about first.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of FOMO for Bethesda going to Microsoft, because I enjoy the Fallout series, especially, and I can get over Starfield, but now Indiana Jones as well. It makes me a sad snurts. But for those who have the Xbox, I think it looks great, to be honest. I was a little nervous about the first person perspective, but then I find out it's the studio that's made the Wolfenstein last few games there, and I'm like, well, they have experience with that. And maybe they want to make something that's more than Uncharted with a whip. It feels like an Indiana Jones movie, and right down to the Wilhelm scream in the trailer that they had. And if they can focus on some puzzles and give you some fun whip combat, those who are the Xbox side of things will have a good time, and me over here with my PS5 will just be wondering what could be.
So, I mean, yeah, I've made my opinions known. Like, I'm not excited for Bethesda games being exclusive, but I would not care if exclusives disappeared tomorrow. We know this. I've said this 100 times, but this game, like, I haven't had a chance to watch the development direct, right? Because it was hectic this week. But what I have seen is the trailer for this. It looks good. And I definitely think that it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But I haven't seen much turmoil with this week. Where are you guys seeing this?
Turmoil with what?
Not turmoil, just like FOMO. People are kind of like, I wish it was coming to PlayStation. Like, I got nothing against Microsoft. I was an original Xbox and 360 owner myself before making the PlayStation jump. And it's exclusives happen. It's good. I'm sure there are people who are only on Xbox who are like, I wish I could play Spider-Man. But it is like a little bit of a bummer where a studio that used to be creating stuff for all platforms is now siloed to one. But that's part of the industry. There's nothing I can do about it, and I can either get a Game Pass or an Xbox, or just live without it.
Yeah, I find the whole thing interesting, because for years people have been like, Xbox has no games. Xbox has no games. I don't think it's necessarily true, but now we're getting to the point where Xbox is like, well, starting off the year, they're showing us Avowed, Hellblade, Indiana Jones. And Hellblade's coming out like in a couple months, and now you're seeing everything come to fruition, and you're like, okay, I'm seeing where they're coming through and what they're going through with it, and now it's like, okay, this looks cool. Like, Hellblade looks amazing, Indiana Jones looks amazing, Avowed looks cool. There's a lot of cool things coming up on this second half of this console generation that Xbox is really bringing to the table. I'm excited for it, and I think there are PlayStation fans who are now kind of like, oh, we should be getting that stuff too. Now they're coming along towards the side of like, oh, why is this only on Xbox? But to be fair, PlayStation had a lot of great exclusive games.
100%.
So it's kind of like, okay, now it's time for the other side to kind of have that kind of thing, and I think it's cool. We're getting that.
I mean, Xbox has had games. That's the thing. They've had them, but they've shown them off too early. Like, for example, they showed State of Decay 3 like a while back. We've seen nothing from that since. Right? Like, they showed Hellblade like what, almost 3 years ago, I want to say. Um, and I have seen what Donnie's been saying about Hellblade, where like people are upset that it seems to be a short game. But I don't know, man. Like Xbox has had the games; they've just been in development. And again, remember, like development cycles got hindered by COVID, and that's why you're seeing an abundance of games, which I don't think is going to stop this year. Just so we're pointing out, um, like it's probably going to continue for at least this year, maybe even a little bit of next year. Where like an abundance of games on top of each other is it's just going to be a backlog is just going to come, right? I don't know. Like I said, if Last of Us launched on Xbox tomorrow, go nuts, have fun. More people get to play the game, right? Like if Spider-Man launched on Xbox tomorrow, go nuts. If Halo came to PlayStation, go nuts, right? Like the more people get to play, the more people have fun, right? Like that's
I agree.
me, at least. But that's unfortunately not how business works. But like, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Hellblade 2 looks cool. And for anyone who hasn't played Hellblade, let me just point out that game's on sale for like $3 right now.
Yeah, Hellblade's a fantastic game.
I've never played Hellblade. Give me the quick 2-second elevator pitch of what Hellblade is.
Go ahead, Ellie.
So this is a bad comparison, but it's the closest one I can think of a game that you played that would be similar.
Okay.
God of War,
Mhm.
but not. So like it's not combat focused. It's a very story, like there is combat, but it's not combat focused like God of War. It's
Sure.
a very like story driven game. If you play it, highly recommend you play it with headphones. Just
Okay.
saying.
It's a very atmospheric game. Like you can hear
Yes.
like attacks come from the left side of your head, from the right
Oh,
side.
gotcha.
I know.
Cool.
But
It's an amazing game.
I'm using a game that I know Snurts has played to compare. That is not at all what Hellblade is.
No, you're
right?
talking
Like,
about
it is
atmosphere and story development, not gameplay. From what it sounds
Both.
like.
Both
Both.
actually.
both.
Oh, okay.
It's different. I'm using God of War as the closest game I know.
You could
played.
use Evil West.
No. That would be in the complete opposite direction of Hellblade.
Anyway. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well,
yeah.
if I get around to it, thank you for the quick pitch on that.
It's like $3 on Steam right now. Or I don't know what it is on Xbox or on PlayStation because the first game was on PlayStation. But I don't know if it's still for sale there. You know.
Okay. All right.
And I will say this: it was made by a small studio when the first one came out, and it looks amazing.
Cool.
It's a nice looking game. Very nice looking game. Very interesting, fun combat. It's like the camera's very broad and it kind of focuses on like single combat, like mano a mano.
Yeah.
And then as the game expands, you have multiple people attacking you. But it's so well done and so unique.
Yeah.
It's such a good experience.
Also,
Cool.
this game points out a big flaw in Steam's purchase system that makes me so fucking angry. So, my friend Lana's birthday was on the 15th, and they have this game on their wish
Happy
list.
birthday.
Because it's $3 here in Canada, I wanted to gift it to them for their birthday, right? Well, I add it to my cart, and I go to gift it to them, and I go to send them as a recipient. Steam pops up with a big, nice message going, due to regional pricing differences, you cannot gift this game to this recipient. Steve, the game is more expensive in Canada. Just let me give it to them. I am not giving them a cheaper game. Like,
you're better off just Venmoing them money and then them buying it on Steam themselves. But yeah, that's annoying.
Here's a fun one for you, Snurts. What's Venmo? I know what Venmo is. It doesn't exist in Canada.
Oh, no. Canada. There's so little I know outside of the great sport of
PayPal.
hockey.
That is the only like money sending service that's not bank related that
okay.
exists in Canada. Is
Interesting.
PayPal.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, crazy. All right. Is it question time?
You got anything else to say about Xbox come out with these amazing games?
Oh yeah,
So-
that's right.
The Xbox exclusives are gonna keep coming. I'm very excited for Avowed. Like I've been excited. Like it's Obsidian, so I was always gonna be excited. I see people upset that the scope seems smaller. I'm like, this is always what Obsidian does. Like they always have smaller scope games, right? Like I think Avowed's gonna be great. It's slated for fall, so it'd be interesting to see. Can't wait for that. I was not interested in that like Civilization game type that they showed. But-
Did they have any old classics like a Splinter Cell or Halo? And I missed the showcase.
No.
So.
No,
No?
it was Delvin, list off the games because I know you know.
It was Avowed. It was Hellblade. It was Indiana Jones. It was. Let me give you some more. Let me read them off.
Because Splinter Cell, I feel like is needing a comeback. I know.
Oh, definitely.
I know. I keep wanting to call them Ubisoft. Ubisoft. They have so many games coming out that I keep hoping that we're going to see another Sam Fisher experience, even if it's more streamlined. Like the 360.
Thank you, John.
versus the
Visions
original.
of Mana was the other one.
That's what I was looking for. Yes, it wasn't shown on my.
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
a lot of that went over my head outside of Indiana Jones, but good for Xbox. Everybody should have
Yeah.
their, games that make them feel special, especially those who are more interested in the console war nonsense. And again, like I might have FOMO for a title here and there, but it's the best way to get over that is just to go get the other console or find a way to play it somehow.
yeah.
And I don't know. I've been dealing with console exclusives since I've been gaming like forever. It's like, are you playing Sonic or are you playing Mario?
Yeah. I mean,
and-
it'll be like Xbox is gonna like obviously Activision hasn't been factored in yet for how their release schedule is gonna work, but like Xbox is gonna have games going forward. I just
Yeah.
they've had games before. They've just been in development, and sometimes I feel they show them too early. Looking at you, State of Decay 3. Or in other cases, games that should have been a shoe-in just fade into nothing. Crackdown 3. What the hell was that? Like
Yeah.
that game did not need Terry Crews.
It needed more Terry Crews.
Huh?
It needed more Terry Crews.
It needed less Terry Crews.
Terry Crews all in the game. They should
No.
make every character Terry Crews in the game.
Terry Crews for president.
No. Hearing Terry Crews out of the line,
No.
quack, quack,
Absolutely
motherfucker. Hearing Terry Crews out of the line, quack, quack, motherfucker, made me uninstall that game so fast.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's a great line.
I thought it
Quack,
was fun.
quack,
It is.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I
like
can.
it.
I can imagine. I can hear his voice in my head saying it.
Yeah.
Crackdown 3 is a fun game.
It's
Oh, Crackdown
it's
was
fun
okay.
if you play as someone other than Terry Crews. Just saying.
All right.
Cool.
Oh no. Delvin.
Delvin.
All right. Y'all want to get to these? Well,
You're getting choppy again, buddy.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. What's happening there, bud? What's going on with your internet?
I have no clue because my internet keeps showing I'm fine.
Interesting.
It doesn't like the humid Florida weather.
What humid Florida weather? Ron DeSantis ran away because it's fucking snowing.
Oh, is it snowing in Florida right now? I don't know. I don't know. Florida.
It was
Oh,
for
yeah?
a day earlier this week.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right.
Probably.
Well, let's see. Should we go to questions, or are we gonna see if we
Yeah.
get Delvin back here?
Delvin, turn your camera off and then back on.
Take the tape off of the camera lens.
I'm never living that down.
No, you're not.
Oh.
Sorry. I could be very forgiving and forgetful of things, but that's like it's so
Yeah.
small, but so like yeah. Anyway, we don't need to go back into that.
No, we don't. Delvin, what is happening, bud?
Not here.
What?
Oh, man,
Oh no.
this is should I start making like side talk with Haley like when this happens? We're like, all right, Haley, here's our side talk topics.
for
yes,
years.
we know for years. Yeah.
This happens
so
all the
much fun.
time. It's that Florida internet. And
All right. Well,
for the record, let me point out this is why we didn't record live, because Delvin's internet couldn't handle it.
oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know why it's not. My internet showing is working good, and I don't know why it's not working.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's frustrating, especially when you see everything firing and all cylinders on one side, and then it's just stalling out on the other.
I'm in when you can if your internet gets any better. Oh.
Me.
I don't know why it's doing that, because it keeps showing my internet's going fast, and I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, let's get to these questions.
Let's get to the questions before they.
All right, our first question from Eat the Hype. He said, "Do you think?" Yeah, exactly. Do you think we'll see any changes to PlayStation's approach to PC support in 2024? Last of Us, Horizon, God of War sequels, others like Gran Turismo and Ghost aren't on PC yet. So what's your thought? Do you think we'll get some different type of strategy from PlayStation for their PC games?
So I think it was already rumored this year that a bunch of that stuff was coming. Like, we know Horizon's coming like very soon. It's had a Steam page since October. I definitely think we'll see Last of Us 2 at some point this year, because, again, I keep seeing people go, why did this game need a remaster? It didn't, but this makes sense when you consider that they're inevitably porting this game to PC. So while doing all that work, get it out on PS5 and then throw it onto PC when it's ready. I definitely think we'll see Ragnarok on there at some point. Tsushima might come this year. I definitely think you're going to continue to see Sony franchises on the PC. They sell, and it allows consumers to double dip. I mean, look, yes, I would. Donnie, I am 100% with you. Like, give me the Infamous franchise on PC and I'll play it like instantly. Give me the Infamous franchise on the PS5, I'll play it there too. Like, bring it. Bring it. Like, they're sitting on money.
No.
Like, they're sitting on money. But no, like, it allows double dipping. Like, look, I already own Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. I own Days Gone on PC. I want to own the rest of the available ones on PC, but I actually need a better computer, since my graphics card has 4 gigs of VRAM and can't even run God of War. So,
damn shame.
Yeah.
I mean, to echo what Haley said earlier, I mean, the more people who get to play the game, the better. So I do hope this trend continues. And, if this pumps in more money into the studios creating this content so they can create additional awesome stuff that us PlayStation owners get to play years ahead of the PC crowd, I'm all for it. Like, even better late than never.
Yeah, I think it's cool getting all the stuff on PC, and I think we'll get more and more, because I think it's working. Even when it comes out busted, people are still buying it. So
yeah,
it's kind of working. So why would they change their strategy? If it's broke, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it's, for the most part, not broke. Even though games are coming out janky as fuck as soon as they hit PC, people are still buying it, and people are still waiting for it to get past to enjoy it. So
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question doesn't have a name to it.
So, what do you mean it doesn't have a name to it? This was also from Donnie. That's why it was all in one bong.
Oh,
it was all in one big bundle. So,
okay. It says, do you see Sony announcing a new media venture off one of their IPs in 2024? If so, which one? Didn't they say something about Ghost of Tsushima? Getting a TV show or something like that? A movie?
So we already knew that was a thing. It's going to have the John Wick director attached to it, I believe. And I believe it's a movie, not a show. As for new media venture, didn't we, like, when they were at CES and showing some of their stuff, didn't they just kind of like teased Gravity Rush is one that's getting it.
They said Gravity Rush a while ago too.
I know that they also showed Patapon for some fucking reason in there,
There you go.
which I don't know how you make a secondary media output for Patapon, but sure.
TV show,
Yeah.
cartoon show for kids. Patapon. Solve.
Paul
Yeah.
Rappa the Rapper. Bring that back.
I would love that. You can make
Starring
Rapper the
Chris
Rapper.
Pratt.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, no.
That joke is officially dead now. I beat it to the death of just throwing Chris Pratt's name out there.
Oh, that joke has been dead for years. Also, I want to point out in that vein, Margot Robbie came out and said she's taking a break from acting because people are probably sick of my face, and I'm like, why are you the one doing this and not Chris Pratt? Like, you're talented. Like,
yeah, they're both fine in my opinion. But
Yeah.
yeah, it must be so bad to have so much exposure that you got to go back to your many mansions and just chill for a while. But anyway, I mean, they already announced God of War, correct? Like that's coming to
Yes,
Prime.
that was announced.
Yeah.
yes, God of War is coming to Prime. Horizon is doing Netflix, I believe.
Okay. All right.
Um,
They already have Spider-Man on the MCU, so that's not happening.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, that Madam Web thing just seems like a monstrosity. If you saw the news that came out about that this week, they originally planned for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man to be the Spider-Man that's referenced at the end of the movie, and then they changed plans to Tom Holland, and then they changed plans again to just remove that entirely, and it's like, what are we fucking doing?
I'm confused by that whole venture anyway, but
Yes.
yeah. So I don't really. I'm trying to think of something. I mean, Ghost seems like a very easy thing to add. They already did the Gran Turismo. Like, what's left on the PlayStation lineup to
Jack
Again,
and Dexter, baby.
Jack and Dexter? Okay, so we're
As
gonna
a
do like
show?
No, I could see that doing a 6 like mini episode animated thing, like 30 minutes an episode. Jack and Dexter go on an adventure.
Maybe. I don't know. You could do Infamous. You could do Killzone. You could do.
I think those are so old these days, though. That like, is there like if you bring a Killzone show out there, like what is this, Man in the High Castle Part 2?
Yeah.
I mean,
Man in the Killzone Castle.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm for it.
You could also do Resistance, but that might get Last of Us. Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, to me, as long as the quality is there, I think this will continue to happen. I am very nervous about the God of War because I love that franchise very much, and I'm just like, you guys don't screw it up. Don't pull a Halo. Please don't pull a Halo.
Did you see the actor for Halo came out and was like, "Hey man, you can't have a show and not show the main actor's face." And I'm like,
or butt.
I'm like, have y'all ever seen Power Rangers? Have y'all ever seen like I don't know, The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I was gonna say like that was the whole point of The Mandalorian for like almost the whole first season.
Yeah,
they made it a big deal, and then when he showed his face,
took his helmet off, it was a big deal.
Yeah, then when he showed his face, he got punished for it. That was the whole point of it. Like, yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
I mean, I know actors want to like emote with their facial expressions, but I'm not looking for a Master Chief who can give me that depth of acting aficionado that I would get from someone else. I'm looking for a giant green Spartan machine to wreck alien ass. Like that's what I want.
Yes, and fight aliens
and zombies.
When you see Chief, you're supposed to be inspired for hope. The promotional keep putting out for him makes him look like a tyrant. I'm like, that's the complete opposite image of.
Yeah, and their plot was just nonsense. It's weird when the young adult Halo books get the theme of the franchise so much better than
the young adult Halo books were actually written by writers at Bungie. Like that's the point.
I know, but like maybe they should have had those Bungie folks writing this stuff too, because if they would have done something like the Fall of Reach instead of whatever nonsense they're doing, anyway, yeah.
All right, let's go to our next question from D Life. Yes, question for the show: what is the best looking limited edition PS model? Could be any gen.
PS4 Kratos' X.
Nice.
I will say PS4 Darth Vader.
Okay. Very
Okay.
cool. I was just going to say the recent Spider-Man. I like the way the black and the red look in the Spider-Man plates. I don't know if
that's
that
a good
counts.
console design.
And I like the controller as well. Looked pretty cool. Yeah, it's really neat how you can really personalize your PlayStation. But mine's just sitting like on a shelf, so I don't feel the need to accessorize it beyond the white whale color.
Donnie might also like to mention his PS4 with Nathan Drake on it.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Cool. Yeah.
I don't remember many special editions for like PS3 or whatnot. Like they were just different colors, right?
I think there was one, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And I'm not going to try to.
All right.
fuck
Yeah.
that.
Moving right along.
Our next question from Smoking Joe. What are your top 3 colors of the DualSense controller?
Number 1.
Ooh, I didn't bring
Number
props.
2.
Haley,
Is that blue?
this is also an audio podcast. So you might
Okay, so this is the Cosmic Red. Not Cosmic Red. Sorry, the whatever the newest red one is. That the Volcanic Red.
That's correct. That's a good one.
The Galactic Purple.
That
And
is purple.
over here, I've got the pink one.
Nice.
Also, I didn't bring props. I record in my room, and my PlayStation is like right there.
And I said I didn't bring props. My props are in the corner over there. I'd have to get up and get them, but it's an audio medium, so we're good.
It's also a visual medium.
I also have purple. Purple is my personal favorite. It's the color of royalty, and I am a lord after all. I also enjoyed the teal color. I think it's based off the Horizon game, if I'm not mistaken.
The teal color was one of the first like 6 colors they released. It was just like
yeah, it's like a teal with like a light, I want to say rose or pink highlight to it or something like that. That looks nice.
Yeah.
And other than that, I like I said again, like copying my answer from before, I thought that Spider-Man controller looked really cool. And if I see it on sale in the future, I might go for it. But yeah, for the most part, both PS4 and PS5, I'm purple all the way. How about you, Delvin? What do you have?
Give me the black one.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the red one, the first red they came out with. And give me the powder blue type color.
Nice.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right. Our next question, also from Smoking Joe. He asks, what made you a PlayStation fan? And what the heck is CW?
Okay. So what the heck is CW? It's most of the television shows that I watch, like Arrow, Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, The 100, Constantine was NBC, but like essentially got folded into the Arrowverse. Superman and Lois, Riverdale, Supernatural, like all that. Like that's CW, like those shows.
It is a mid-network with mid-shows that are mid-entertaining. But it's fun because it's
They're
CW.
fine. They're good. I mean, it's
Like, listen, I know that I'm not watching highbrow entertainment, but you know what? I'm having a blast while watching it, so who cares?
Exactly.
yeah. If you enjoy it, go for it.
And I mean, like, I'm not turning my camera around, but right behind my TV is a Supernatural poster. Right over on over top of my bed is an Arrow poster and a Riverdale poster. And then beside my bed is a Riverdale poster and a Flash poster. And then, like I said, over here I've got the 100. Like, you know,
You
I
are
got-
the
I got
person who's the CW. You're keeping them in business.
uh-huh. And they're not in business anymore. And also
Well,
behind
you
me,
failed your job.
and also behind me, Smallville. That was also it was originally a WB show, but then WB got purchased by CW. Smallville was also a CW show. But I enjoy their stuff, right? And then what got me into PlayStation? It was just the first console I had, and that's kind of like where I like started, like, because like we had like the Super Nintendo, but only for like a couple months before it broke, and then we didn't get another console until PS2. And I played that a bunch till that broke, Then I had an Xbox, like the original Xbox, and then PS3, and a PS4, and then everything in there. No, it's just like it's what I had and what I played on mostly, right? So it wasn't anything specific. It wasn't like, oh, that's what all my friends had or anything, right? So
Yeah. All right. What got me in the PlayStation was the PlayStation 1. I was there since the beginning, and I remember playing the first lineup of games I got for PS1 was Jumping Flash, Battle Arena Toshinjin, and this little game called Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And when I started playing Resident Evil, I thought it was the coolest shit in the world. Like, oh, this isn't a game for kids. This is for adults.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Look at this guy. He walks in the room with the zombies biting off this guy's head. You're killing these monsters. You're running after from giant dogs. This game is amazing. And I kind of just been there ever since because it felt like, whereas Nintendo at the time, which is a silly notion because it wasn't necessarily like that. Nintendo at the time felt like a game console for kids. Even though that's not necessarily true. But it had an element of that. PlayStation kind of felt like, all right, this is the progression from little kid to big kid, essentially. With games like a little bit more mature, like Metal Gear, Resident Evil. Then you had like Silent Hill and stuff like that. Kind of made you feel like you were growing up a little bit more. Where instead of even though now I love those games even more now, like instead of playing Mario and stuff like that, you're playing a little bit more mature games with a little darker themes. And I kind of really dug that from PlayStation. I kind of just guess it really stuck with me since that day.
Nice. Very good. You're probably at that right age too, where you're ready for more adult content.
Exactly.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, I've jumped all over the place. I started with a Commodore 64, went to a Sega Genesis, then an N64, then an original Xbox 360, and then it was time to either get the next Xbox series or the PS4. And at the time, it was a very simple choice for me because all my friends were getting a PS4. So I wanted to play Star Wars Battlefront with my friends, and that's the console we picked. So that's what I went, and I've been hooked on PlayStation ever since. I knew that we were going to come. I had fan hits like from back in the day, like a Resident Evil and a God of War. So I was already familiar with some of the games on the console. And like I said, after PlayStation 4 hit and my shift away from more multiplayer content to a single player experience led me to the PlayStation, and I'm hooked. And if the transition from PS4 to PS5 matches the transition from PS5 to PS6, odds are I'm going to be staying in this boat for a while because I'm quite comfortable with the way it's turned out. Even though I do miss some of the Xbox stuff, thankfully the majority of the content is available on PlayStation, with the exception, of course, of like a Halo or a Splinter Cell. But yeah, I still have that 360 that I can fire up whenever. So my answer is very, very simple. My friends had a PlayStation 4, so I went with PlayStation 4. Nice.
Pretty good answer, to say the least.
Yeah, we had fun playing Battlefront for a while until we got sick of the grind. Star Wars, I mean, flying around in a ship or whatnot, AT, it's great.
All right. Our next question for, how do I say this name, Bailey?
They are from if it's who I think it is, they are from the GMG Discord. I don't actually know how to pronounce their name.
Humar Whittle.
Good job. What are your recommendations for games on PlayStation Plus? Can it be games you found on your way or the games that are currently available at the higher tiers? There's a lot of stuff on PlayStation Plus.
First one I'm recommending to you right off the bat, if you haven't played it yet, Guardians of the Galaxy. Go nuts right now. Great game. It's on Extra. I'll also recommend and this is like the Eidos Montreal one. It's not the Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy. Like very, very good game. Also, Ghostwire Tokyo is on there, which it's not for everyone, but good game. I believe Deathloop is there as well if you're into like arcane style games. What else?
Stray.
Metal Hellsinger.
I think Stray's on there. Stray's pretty good.
Stray is no longer on there.
Boo! Tomatoes.
It left. Teardown is available right now. That's pretty fun. There's lots, really. And I think the catalog will also recommend games to you based on what you play yourself. So that will also help you as well. It will just recommend like out of pocket stuff. Like, if you're only playing like racing games, for example, it's not going to go out here and recommend a card-based game to you, right? But you know, I think there's a lot on there that's worth playing. If you're on like the higher tier where you have access to like the classics, I believe all the Siphon Filter games are there. Those are pretty good. And also in that tier, you would get remasters, in which I would recommend Red Faction, Guerrilla Remastered. John 32, I have not played Sea of Stars. Sorry. I can't recommend a game I haven't played.
That's a good recommendation, though. That was a really good recommendation.
I've heard it's a good game, but I'm not going to recommend something I haven't personally played.
Yeah. I looked up what's on PS Plus Extra, and there's quite a few games on there I can recommend. Resident Evil 2, Just Cause 3, Lego City Undercover. I don't recommend Session. Session sucks. Tiny Tina's Wonderland. There's some good games.
Good games.
Tiny Tina, yeah.
If you're into D&D and Borderlands, great mix right there.
Evil West, the game that we were talking about today. Nobody Saves the World. There's some pretty good games on there.
If I'm
Plague
looking at
Tale Requiem is very good.
I was hopefully this list is accurate. I should have done better homework with this, but BioShock Remastered is on there. That was a lot of fun.
Give me a second. I can look it up right now. I've got the app on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, well, I pulled up an article from Eurogamer, so hopefully they're not lying to me. But
what's the date on the article?
Oh man, that's all the way at the top. It's a giant list. It is as of January 2024.
Okay, so might be.
Yeah, it came out on the 10th. But anyway, also Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z. I don't play too many fighter games, but Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z is to me the best mirroring of, because it's from ARC, if I'm not mistaken, who did Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue, and that I played that game for hours. And if you were a fan of the anime series,
it's a great game.
I highly recommend it. It's also very accessible because you can literally set it up to where you can do specials very easily.
Yeah.
And so if as someone who gets kind of confused with the complicated buttons of some of the other fighter games out there, I did appreciate the simplicity. And then I know like I still suck at it because when I watch like fights online, people are doing things that I could only dream of.
So looking at the flag, or not like the flagged items for PS Plus in my phone, BioShock. Any of the BioShocks do not appear to be flagged for PS Plus.
Oh,
Boo,
okay.
tomatoes.
Because BioShock Remastered was fantastic.
Now this may be where the app is not showing it to me because I bought BioShock the collection like when they released it. So for me, it just says purchased. But sometimes it'll still show me the option that it's on PS Plus if it's there. I'm just not seeing it. So
just cancel your subscription. It's okay. It's over.
I mean, if any of the Far Cry like 5 or 6 are on there, those were enjoyable.
I believe 6 might be on Classic right now, which would be included with the extra tier.
Okay.
But we don't have Ubisoft Plus proper, so
yeah. All right.
Next question. I think this is a great question from Hollywood Bones. Yes. What's a video game system that you never owned, but really wanted when you were younger? Whatever the answer is, will you try to buy it now that you're thinking about it? There you go. So, what's a system that you always wanted that you never had?
I can't say that I ever wanted it, but I never owned an N64.
That's a good one.
Yeah, they got some good games on that N64.
I play when I would go over to friends' houses, they'd have an N64 and I'd play there. But like,
Sure. Yeah.
I didn't have one personally. So would I go out and buy one right now? No, but that's because I don't want to deal with the hassle of trying to like buy
Converter or whatever.
Composite inverter and
Yep,
an HDMI
yep.
out. Like, fuck that shit. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to get one of those for my Sega Genesis. But yeah, I completely understand. Also, the one game that I missed from having an N64 was Ocarina of Time, and I got that on the 3DS. So I'm good to go. Like, and I can play it anywhere. So, but yeah, definitely some classics on the N64. Delvin, what has escaped your wishes, and what did you wish you had as a child growing up?
Sega Saturn.
Oh, very cool. That's
Never had a
blast from
Sega
the
Saturn.
past. Yeah.
Always wanted one. Never had one. Never even played it.
Oh, crazy.
That and a TurboGrafx 16.
I don't even know. That sounds familiar, but like I couldn't pull that out of a lineup if I saw it. I know.
It's old.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you what it looks like.
There is a TurboGrafx 16 was a system that came out around the time of, I want to say, Super NES and Genesis.
Okay.
And while Sega was touting Sonic and Nintendo was touting Mario, TurboGrafx 16 was touting Bunk, who was a caveman with a big ass head who smashed things.
I'm just a simple caveman video game mascot.
And they had the game
Oh,
Bunk's Big
man.
Adventure. That was a huge
Okay.
thing. But yeah, that's the only game I remember from it. But yeah, I wanted a TurboGrafx 16 when it was popular.
Yeah. I have my joke answer is a 3DO or Jaguar. My real
I
answer
had a Jaguar.
But yeah. I had a couple of neighbors growing up who had a 3DO and the other one had a Jag, and we were playing these like weird games. But in hindsight, those games were probably terrible, and those systems didn't last very long. So I'm sure the library is not very deep. So I'm going to go with a PlayStation 1, because when I had the N64, I was kind of like really looking over there with the Resident Evil, like you were saying, Delvin, and just like, well, that's really cool. And the kids that I used to babysit, their dad had a PlayStation 1, and so of course I was playing Resident Evil in front of them kids. I was told not to do that after that one night, but you know, it's okay. And it just
And he was put on a watch list.
Yeah, I was put on a watch. That's right. But it just seemed like you were saying earlier, and I totally relate to that. The time to grow up. You know, when I was looking so much, and they have some of those games on N64, but like the more adult themed games, and I think I finally hit that stride when I got the original Xbox. So yeah, PS1 would have been cool. And will I buy one now? No. Yeah, if anything, I'll sign up for one of these streaming services and play the games that way.
That makes the most sense. All right. This next question, well, we have another question on here, but I'm going to save this one for the next episode because I want to do some research on this one. So that retro code, we're going to hold on to that question because that's a good question.
Okay, so let me just point out, because that retro code sends in questions all the time. I always will default to usernames because I'm not sure that certain people are okay.
Oh, that's
with their
Eddie
names.
V. That's his name.
Yeah. That's a frequent question asker. So just Delvin wants to do some research. So we've got your question. It's in the doc. It will be answered, but we're gonna save it for the next episode.
That'll help me too.
This is a really good question. Now, but the question was, which state of play was your favorite? But there's been a lot of them, so I want to kind of look at the state of plays and kind of go through them first before I make that decision. So we'll skip that one. We'll go to this question from WFOD Show, and he asked me, "Is WFOD your people?" This is a very controversial question because they asked the question on PSVG, and I know this person. And I'm like, they are not my people, and they were greatly offended by me saying this. So yes, WFOD is my people, even though he asked that terrible question.
There you go. What is WFOD?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It is a podcast, and I'll say their name, and then you'll see why.
Okay.
They asked the question. Great podcast, by the way.
Okay.
Podcast is called Wheelbarrow Full of Dicks.
Oh,
Terrible name, great podcast.
All right.
They have a lot of they do a lot of interviews with some great guests and stuff like that, like directors for movies, and they have a little fun podcast show, kind of like variety type show. It's a really
Okay,
cool
cool.
podcast. People should check it out. It's a little bit on the blue collar side, but I think people who get the comedy will get it and enjoy it.
With a name like that, if they weren't a little blue, I'd be concerned.
Yeah, and like I said, they get some really good guests on there. Some really good surprise celebrity guests. They had Tyree from The Walking Dead talking about a movie I talked about on they were the reason why I ended up watching the movie. It was The Angry Girl and Her Monster.
Wait, they had Chad Coleman on?
Yeah, he was on the show. He
That-
was talking.
That's interesting because we've had a couple questions about CW. Chad Coleman is a frequent CW actor as well.
Yeah, he was on the
Okay.
show, and it was a really good interview. And his interview made me want to watch the movie. It's called Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. It's a really fantastic movie. And I wouldn't have known about that movie until I heard about it on that podcast. And I'm like, oh, this is a really good movie. And they've done it like a couple of they interviewed a couple of movie directors that I went back and watched their little indie movie. Like, this is a really good movie. So yeah, got some interesting things from it.
Cool.
All right, our next question. Well, this is from Matthew Dawson,
Yeah.
A.K. Hopper 2400. He asks, you already know what I want to talk to you about. We already talked about it, but we can talk about it a little bit more. He wants to know our thoughts on the Indiana Jones game.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana Jones looks cool. I like Indy. It's my favorite part was people were wondering when this game was going to be set if they'd have to talk about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and
Absolutely
damn,
not.
They do not.
They were-
They do not.
they were not doing that shit. Instead, my current question is Short Round going to appear in the game?
I was a little bit older, right? Because the Temple of Doom
So,
is a prequel.
Where
so
the
you
time where the timeline sits, Short Round would be a teenager.
yeah,
I-
yeah.
I know people hate Short Round, but I love Short Round. I love
What's the hate?
because
It's not. So Short Round was a very stereotypical character at the
Correct.
time.
Very true. Yeah.
It led to the actor who I don't want to butcher his name. It's Key.
He's been on Loki season 2. Is the last
Yeah,
thing I
he's a
saw.
fantastic actor, by the way.
I
Oh, yeah.
believe it's Ki Hoi Kwan. I believe
Close enough.
is his name. It kind of led to him not getting roles for like 20 years. Like
Yeah.
that. He
He's a
kind of
great
got
actor.
fucked over with that movie. He's a great actor, but like
Well,
he kind of got
he
fucked
wasn't he
over.
also in the Goonies? So like,
Yes, he was.
Yes,
he's
but the
playing an
Goonies.
Asian stereotype there.
Yeah,
I mean,
He was typecast, and because he was typecast, once the 80s ended, they were like, we don't need this character anymore.
oh, I see. Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
he
it
got-
led
yeah,
to him like
okay.
not getting any big roles. So I believe his big reappearance in movies is in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes,
That is
yes,
correct.
very much so.
And he was
And-
fantastic in that, and then that started to get him. He was in a couple other shows too, and he's kind of getting his a resurgence in his career and stuff like that.
And my
He
favorite thing was him reuniting with Harrison Ford, who was so happy to see him.
No, I've seen the coverage. It's great, and
So-
that's such a bummer. I was under the impression, of course, like stupidity of Hollywood and stereotypes playing afoot. I should have thought of that more. But I thought he just kind of went behind the scenes, and now he's in front of the camera again.
Oh no, he
No.
was not
But-
working.
No,
He's
he
not
was
working,
like
period.
it's
Okay.
kind of the same. Like it's not the same because obviously this situation dealt with racism, but it's why you didn't see Brendan Fraser for a number of years. Brendan Fraser actually got blacklisted for a while because
Brandon Fraser had a lot of stuff happen to him as well. Like there was
correct, but
some
he was
kind of
industry
abuse.
blacklisted for speaking out against his abuser.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
if
Yeah.
he was in the Me Too era, I think it would have been a hell of a lot different. But
Yeah,
well, that's unfortunate because I know stereotypes are a thing and they can be hurtful for people, but like as the character Short Round, like I thought it was a very entertaining ad. And like I like the fact that he was driving around and like telling the lady to shut up.
I thought he was cool.
Yeah.
because it was just to me the like classic like, oh, here's a kid sidekick type of deal, and they're always a little quirky. And this one just so happened to be Asian. But I guess I have a more naive outlook on it.
No, it's more of a retrospective looking back at Short Round. That character's not great,
Okay.
but I mean,
Well, Temple of Doom in general has some very questionable things in it. I love the movie for what it is. It's a movie of its time, but if you watch Temple of Doom, you're like, oh, okay, I get why people have their problem with it.
a lot of the indie movies have stuff in them that's like, "Ooh, that was its time."
Yeah, because it's a throwback to those. The best way to describe the Indiana Jones movie. It's a modern pulp movie from the 30s. Like if you ever watch like the pulp movies from the 30s, it's a modern take on that.
Yeah.
And it has the good tropes as well as the bad tropes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you listen to some of the dialogue of the first movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and like you start doing the math of when the two main characters met, you're like, oh, that something's not adding up. And then because I was a kid, you know, it's
Mary
like,
was like 14
Jesus.
or 13, something like that.
Yeah. And then, you know, as a kid, when I saw Temple of Doom, I'm like, Dad, I don't want to watch the movie with the child slavery and the heart ripping out.
Yeah.
and you know, it has its fun moments. But it's definitely, I do have a theory that you need Nazis in an Indiana Jones movie.
I agree.
The ones with the Nazis in them are way better than the ones without the Nazis.
I agree. Indiana Jones just feels right punching Nazis.
Oh yeah, like when the opening of the trailer,
And
where the headbutt the guy, like I was like, yes, bad Nazi.
Let me point out, this is done by Machine Games, whose most recent controversy, quote unquote, was the hullabaloo that the internet was in uproars when their promotional material for Wolfenstein 2 was, there are a lot of ways you can kill a Nazi with a hatchet, and people were like, you can't do that, and they're like, what the fuck's the problem with killing Nazis?
I thought Nazis was like the one last villain we can do anything we wanted to, because they were a bunch of evil scumbags who you know, should never grace this earth again. And unfortunately, that's a whole other thing. But
we won't get into that. But
but like
if fuck Nazis, kill them with all the hatchets you can.
Yeah, and you know, they're always a go-to bad guy in my opinion, and especially given, like, my personal favorite Indiana Jones is The Last Crusade, because Sean Connery is just amazing as Indy's dad, and I think it has the humor, the light, and all that other kind of fun stuff. Plus, I am a sucker for Arthurian legends, and anytime we're going for that holy grail, be it Monty Python or Indiana Jones, I'm in for it. So I'm hoping that the Indiana Jones game that's coming out is going to be more of like a Last Crusade than anything else.
I agree. All right.
It'll be interesting to see where it takes place.
Our final question, and before I even say what our final question is, Donnie, you can leave the show now. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. I know you don't want to hear this final question, but we have to answer it because it was asked. So, Coach Smith 1993 asks, where did the Arrowverse go wrong, and why is it when they tried to backdoor the Suicide Squad pilot?
Okay,
I remember that.
So, little bit of confusion here. Again, Donnie, thank you for listening. I'm sure you don't want to listen to us ramble about this. They actually did not try to backdoor pilot Suicide Squad. That is a misconception. What they did try to backdoor pilot was a villain show that had nothing to do with Suicide Squad. The reason that the Suicide Squad stuff felt so tacked on afterwards is that DC executives went straight to the show and were like, hey, we plan to make a Suicide Squad movie. You have to stop using these characters.
That is correct.
I remember that. Which is exactly why after season 2, you stop seeing Manu Bennett until like season 5. And in season 3, when you see Deadshot again, he immediately gets killed off. I personally don't really think the show, like the Arrow itself, went downhill. There are some lower quality seasons. Like season 3 is definitely lower quality. And it's because they try to pit Oliver against his team for some fucking reason. But, you know, also they mispronounce Ra's al Ghul like repeatedly to an annoying degree.
They go Roz.
Yes. They say Roz. It's Raish. And really, I think the Arrowverse itself actually strengthened in quality once you added like the Flash in there as the comedic value, and then Supergirl really evened out the roster, and then Legends is chef's kiss. Like I cannot tell you how amazing it is to have an episode of that show revolve around Gorilla Grodd trying to kidnap Barack Obama.
That was absolutely a thing. Yeah. That was a thing. I will say this. I think, to the Arrowverse's credit and discredit for that matter, I think the DC movie universe got in the way of the things the Arrowverse could have did great.
Yeah,
because it seemed like every time Arrowverse was like, "Hey, we want to use this character," then they got the ball rolling on using the character. DC was like, "Nah, we're gonna use the character. You can't use that character no more."
Oh,
so there were whole storylines they had to just stop doing because they couldn't use the characters.
Well, for example, in season 5 of Arrow, they introduced Ragman, which is a very like out there DC character. He's in
the power of cleaning. He's Ragman.
No, he has the. This man absorbs a nuclear blast. Okay, this man like literally absorbs a nuke.
And he goes to Rag. Would have been like Adam.
His cousin is spick and span.
They're like ancient. They're like ancient rags from like. I forget the civilization.
That's fine.
Like he's an out there character, and they were getting the ball rolling on him being part of the team. He's in it for 4 episodes, and like because DC was like, "No, we plan to do something with this character." Or in Legends of Tomorrow, season 1, the whole plot revolves around like Hawkman and Hawkgirl had to stop using them because they wanted to do a Hawkman movie. And
let me say this. And I've always thought this for years, even before DC started doing it. I think it's the stupidest idea if you have a character on TV and you're making a movie to take that character off of TV. It's so ridiculous.
Why can't you have both?
Yeah.
Here's my favorite part. So you know about Gotham, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It is not connected to the Arrowverse at all and had nothing to do with why Batman never showed up. To the point that people were like, well, the CW can't have Batman because Fox has Batman. No.
What?
The CW wasn't allowed to have Batman because DC's exact words is Batman may never grace the television screen again. Only the silver screen.
What a stupid notion, by the way.
Adam West is rolling over if he was buried, or I don't know but like
literally DC's entire thing was Batman cannot appear on screen on television, film only. And it was ridiculous. To the point, by the way, which I love Green Arrow as a character in the comics. Green Arrow in both Smallville and the Arrowverse are essentially Batman in the Green Arrow costume. Just
it's essentially Batman.
Like,
he seems a lot more gritty and like and dark in the Arrowverse than he does.
And you know why that is? It's because they could not have Batman on screen, so they're like, "Fuck it, Green Arrow show," but he's Batman. Like
essentially.
Literally, they like Green Arrow and Batman share a rogues gallery, and they also share animosity towards each other. They both don't like each other. Right?
A fun cartoon that showed that relationship really well was Brave and the Bold. Brave and the Bold cartoon series. They kind of showed off the competition between Green Arrow and Batman, like who's the better rich guy. I mean, like,
see, that's why those characters work so well together.
Yeah, correct. 100%.
Clash with each other, right? But DC's thing was, well, no, Batman's too popular of a character. We don't want him on TV, movies only.
Nonsense. So that's the reason why you should have him on TV.
Yeah.
Again, to the point that Gotham ends with a flash forward like 10 years in the future, where he puts on a costume, but you can't see the bat symbol because, again, Batman can't be on TV. And they do an entire Batwoman show. No Bruce Wayne. No Bruce Wayne at all. A character that is directly related to Bruce Wayne. Not on the show. They had Kevin Conroy in the Arrowverse.
Right, yeah.
As Elseworlds Batman. Not allowed to wear the bat suit.
Oh, let's not talk about Teen Titans. My favorite. Titans.
TV show. They had Batman. It was the guy from Game of Thrones.
It was, and it was the most ridiculous fucking of a timeline I've ever seen. Because with Crisis on Infinite Earths, Titans became connected to Arrow, and guess what? Timeline makes no fucking sense.
That's so strange. Oh my god,
he wasn't really Batman. He was
Correct. He
Bruce
was.
Wayne.
No, he never was in
Yeah.
costume. He was
Yes.
always just wearing a suit, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I see you've spent all my money."
Spoilers for Titans, a show you should never watch because it's not good.
I gave up after
Uh-huh.
one season.
There was a plot line where Batman murders Joker,
Yep.
and you don't see it.
Correct. All you see is him drop a bloody crowbar on the fucking floor. Which, by the way, can we point out the irony of Batman killing the Joker,
The Joker
with a fucking
crowbar.
crowbar?
Yeah.
Do you understand the significance of that?
Oh yeah, I'm a big Batman fan. I could pull out the
No.
comic right now from behind me.
No. But my favorite part is he does this before Jason Todd even dies. Jason
so-
Todd's not
so it's
and
preemptive.
he
Oh.
kills the Joker before Jason Todd is even dead. Like, they don't find Jason until 2 episodes later.
Yes.
And
Yeah. Okay. You can do whatever you want with comics because it is one of those things that I think should be more nebulous and playful with. But like, come on, like if you're gonna be referencing things,
also,
like,
it's very funny to watch Titans now because the actor who plays Reacher plays Hawk on
yes,
Titans.
that's correct.
And he is so much more jacked on Reacher than he is on Titans.
Correct. Well,
Yes.
you could put on the muscle suit and be good. So I've watched the first season of Flash and a few episodes here and there. There was some crossover event that I believe I saw that you were mentioning, Haley, and I had nothing against it. I just kind of got bored. It was not my soap opera. Like I'd rather go back to
So,
X-Men,
yeah.
the animated series, or something else. But what
Which
I
is
appreciated
fair, like-
about the Flash first season, especially, is it had heart. Like it felt it was fun. Now you can see, and the special effects were passable. And compared to the Flash from like the 90s show, the special effects
Which-
were phenomenal.
Yeah.
If you haven't like watched Flash all the way through, you may
Yeah.
not know that what they did with the Flash is they cast it's Henry John Henry
Because-
Ship or something like that.
Yes.
Is his
John
name-
Wesley
The
Shipp.
guy who played there you go. The guy who played Barry in the 90s show is actually in the show
yeah.
originally as Barry's dad. Then at some point I'm not going to spoil it, but like essentially he leaves as that character and then comes back as multiple different characters. Like he comes back as Jay Garrick.
Yeah, the guy with the tin
and-
hat, right? The
Yep,
speedster with the
and
tin
then
hat.
later also comes back as the actual 90s Flash.
Oh,
Yes.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
play around with it. I mean, who cares? Like DC Comics as well. Like there's like one main storyline for sure, but one of the things that DC does, I think, a little bit better than Marvel is that they have all these like random like what ifs. Like, what if Superman and Batman and friends were in a medieval Camelot setting? What if it was vampire? What if it was
they do
this?
those
What if it was
events
that?
Very
You
well.
know? And so like I don't understand these DC executives who are like, oh, we can't have multiple things at the same time, and it's like people will get confused. Like one of the greatness of these characters is that like they have certain base qualities, but then you can just mix and match the settings, the environments, and who they're interacting with, and get a brand new story. And people are smart enough to follow along.
And that's
Yes.
that's the sad part. Like, of course, like obviously the CW was losing funding, so most of these shows ended prematurely, except
Sure.
Arrow and the Flash, which ended when their actors wanted to leave.
Okay.
But for example, Arrow's final season sets up a spinoff in the future with his daughter as the Green Arrow and Black Canary and the Huntress, right? Like trying to set that up. But of course, CW was losing funding, so that didn't get funded, right? And then Legends of Tomorrow's final season sets up Booster Gold right at the end. Canceled because no money, right? But like Arrow and Flash ended, and then other stuff followed. But see, the thing is Superman and Lois was still going strong, right? Like Superman and Lois' season just ended with Doomsday, right?
Oh, cool.
With an actual Doomsday fight on television that is, let me point out, not actually fully realized because it ends halfway through, but it is almost certainly a better Doomsday scene than Smallville had, because Smallville had Doomsday as well.
Probably a better Doomsday scene that they had in the what was that Batman versus?
Oh, it is 100. It is 100% better than that because it's actual Doomsday and not
Doomsday,
Doomsday
not-
with fucking lasers from his eyes.
Zod zombie.
Yeah, essentially. Which that's not even how Doomsday is
No, I know
born
it's
in
not.
the first place.
Not at all.
But the sad thing is James Gunn is not seeming to learn from this issue. Like, I'm excited for what James Gunn is setting up, but he seemed to be following the exact same executive thing where, nope, Superman and Lois has got to end. All of the stuff needs to be connected, and that's it.
That's just
It's unfortunate.
such a very strange way of thinking.
Oh, and they're also, and like, so Delvin, you probably know this, but like they were having like a pretty good animated movie resurgence, right? With like their
Yes.
current like Tomorrowverse. Nope, already ending that. They've started Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's a 3-part animated film event this year. Part 1 came out now. They already killed off Jensen Ackles' Batman. Fucking stupid. Literally, like they're ending all of this because they want everything connected, which that's gonna backfire on you so fucking hard. Like, do not try and follow Marvel. Like, seriously.
Marvel was an accident. It wasn't
It
a
was.
planned thing, and they're trying so hard to force this, and it's just not going to work. I personally love the animated movies, and I thought their New 52 run was better than the comics.
It was.
And I do want to see that Infinite Crisis Earth thing or whatever, but yeah, I don't know what's going to come next, and frankly, I don't care. I hope, again, just go to one-offs, like make individual great stories, and if you find a way to intermingle them with other properties that are going on, and then you want to call it a universe, go for it. But you're trying to lead that horse to water and force it to drink, and
yeah,
it's just leading into terrible issues.
It is. It's really a shame because the Arrowverse was setting up to like have like a Final Crisis kind of event, right? Like it's like there's Infinite Crisis, and in the Flash, they kind of started revealing because, like, after Crisis on Infinite Earths, the characters didn't know the multiverse survived. They thought they were the only Earth. But then the final season of Flash starts teasing that, hey, multiverse still exists, and it's now in danger.
Okay.
But here we are, right?
Yeah, strange.
And because all the other Arrowverse shows ended, Superman and Lois essentially hard cuts at the end of, because season 1 references Oliver Queen and the fact that he's dead and he fought beside Superman. Season 2 retcons that so hard that it's like ridiculous. It's like, oh no, Superman was the only superhero on this planet. Like,
so weird.
Retcons it so hard. Like, the connection in the Arrowverse in Superman and Lois season 1 is so there, but then gets cut. Like, there was a scene where Kara's picture was on Clark's desk at the Daily Planet. Gone, cut. And then Oliver gets mentioned in episode 12, and then season 2's finale essentially flips it on its head and goes, oh yeah, we're not part of the Arrowverse. Like, what? Like, I don't know.
It sounds like the DC clusterfuck has been long and ongoing, and hopefully they can get their poop together and make something entertaining for everybody, because I still love the property, man. I'm still watching this stuff. I'm
excited for the Supergirl movie. It's going to follow the recent Women of Tomorrow comics. So
that if they pull that off, that'll be great. Because if I'm not mistaken, that's the one where she's off in space, like doing space adventures.
So it's essentially her 21st birthday, and she goes to a planet powered by a red sun.
Okay. So I did read that. Yeah. So I did have the DC app for a while, but then I went back to Marvel Unlimited because I like Marvel comics better in general. But if they can pull off that Supergirl show and mirror that adventure, that's a lot of fun. And it kind of shows her really as an individual character and not just living in the shadow of Superman.
Yep.
This is the nerdiest thing we've ever done, and we do a video game podcast.
No. The nerdiest thing you do is a Transformers game that we need to get back. Ken the Viking Bjorn Turner. We need to get that going. But yeah, no, this is pretty nerdy, but I'm all here for it. Movies, games, comics, like this is my wheelhouse. This is my.
You expect me not to go there, right? Like I literally,
Yeah, I even like the Warworld animated movie that came out recently. It's not like I think the best out there, but it's a very weird, like Twilight Zone-y take on it. And they definitely set up like them being some kind of like saviors of the multiverse.
The Warworld arc in the comics that was recent was very good, and
okay, because I do like Warworld. I mean, that's a lot of fun. Was it Mongol?
It's Mongol. Yeah, it added 2 new characters to the Superman family as well. Because Superman ends up adopting 2 orphans.
Right. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
All right.
Nice.
So
I think
All
we
right.
covered I think we covered it.
we covered everything. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We are out. Peace.